It's 2:39. Do I look like less deaf today? Oh, let's put the light. Let's turn the light on and see if I can. I don't think that's very flattering. We'll figure this out when everybody comes in. Oh, that's even less flattering. I have on no makeup though, so it's probably why none of them's flattering. I'm blue. I don't like that one either. Okay, back to the original. Ugh. Turn it down. Well, no, turn it up a little bit. Okay. I have on no makeup. My nurse was just here. After the nurse is here, I have to step and move a little bit because the shots they're giving me, they don't want. I'm Mary. So after I get the shots I'm getting, I have to move a little bit because if I don't, then I get these horrible hematomas. Listen, the back 40's hurting right now. I ain't got any acreage that's not sore. Okay? So I'm just going to say that. I do have some Temu. I don't know if any of the bags I got today are my sponsored haul or not. But for some reason, they all come in like at once, every day. They'll be like nothing, and then boom, like 5 bags of Temu. And I'm pretty sure my mailman hangs on to them because he knows there's more coming. I don't like this lighting in here. Hang on. Ow, that was my finger. Hang on. Let me turn on the big light because I can't. I thought this ring light would. It's not. Do you like the lights around my quilts, though? Isn't that cute? Why are we holding messages for review? We already got a turd in here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you idiot. I'm a retired parole officer, but I mean, hey, whatever you call it in your world. Let me turn on the light. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. You know something? Maybe we should just put this as a prop somewhere real close to me today, just to let people know. I don't play. Okay. Okay, good Lord. Listen, y'all, be careful with you guys, okay? So this, obviously, the clip is not in it. Why? Because it's a security gun, okay? It's bolt action. There's nothing in it. It's empty, okay? If there was anything in it, it would have flipped out. That's how you work the boat, okay? That's how you work the boat, okay? So if there had been anything in it, it would out. And the clip goes in here, you pinch, you put it in, okay? And that's how you take care of people that are coming home. Now, how little is the clip that goes in this gun? Because people are like, guns are so dangerous, and you have so many weapons, and you have so many bullets, and you can kill everybody. And that's the clip. I mean, it holds, what, 6, 7, you know? Yeah, that's what it holds. So you pull this thing, you put this in here like this, and all you do, I mean, all it is basically is, I mean, that's all it is. 6 shots. You have 6 shots. And so I'm not going to do this because they'll get mad if I do it in real life. But you put it in here. You pull this, put it in here. And you can work it with your thumb when you get everything going. But I got nails on, so. But I'm used to a 7mm because that's what I deer hunting with. This is just a 17. This is a varmint rifle. Okay? It's a varmint rifle. So this is a varmint rifle. Got a nice scope on it. Although I hate to say, my husband is real bad in knocking scopes off. And I'd say this one's probably not the best. It's not too bad. You can tell he's had some issues with it. He's bad at knocking scopes. But when you're a trapper, you shoot everything at about 4 foot away. So, you know, you don't have to really worry about that. So this is, y'all, stop coming on my page and acting like I'm an idiot, okay? I'm a retired law enforcement officer. I'm a retired parole officer. I supervise murderers. Y'all come on here and say some shitty stuff to me. Pull up and say it. But anyway, so for those of you that don't believe I handle weapons, there you go. I could show you my 9mm, but it's down in the bedroom. I don't want to show it to you right now. It's very pretty, though. It needs to be cleaned. Kind of ashamed of how dirty she is right now. But she's very pretty. She's very heavy, too, but I like a weighted weapon because that's basically what you're trained with at the police academy, because they try to kill your hands at the police academy. They try to blister your fingers from loading your clips. Oh, call them magazines. Anyway, so for everybody that is like, she's just a what? She doesn't know what I'm talking about. There you go. There you go. I'm a handy woman to have around. Lucia, glad I made you giggle. Hey, so many people come on here saying stupid stuff, and I'm like, you know, I put people in prison for 10 years. I let them out and supervised them, but I also put them in for 10 years. So if you think there's not a weapon about every 3 foot in this house, Gypsy's been in my house. She can tell you how prepared I am. I got these awesome breeches that have the slits in the legs. So it kind of looks like a skirt, but it is pants. And I like that, like in the summertime, like literally if you need a breeze, you just flap. And it's not a skirt, it's pants. I thought these were cute. I love the 70s retro vibe. This is just for looks. It's not going to tighten anything up. But I love the pattern. And I love the slit. And I've lost enough weight on my legs. I don't know why. I'm apparently going to be shaped like a potato for the rest of my life, even though I've lost so much weight. Hey, Hillbilly Loves Matter. How you doing? Well, I've been sick, and probably you've been busy, so it's okay. But I broke the internet a couple weeks ago. Made a lot of people pissed off. But hey, that's what I live for. So dropped a lot of good information a couple weeks ago in an interview I did with Sabrina Wallace. That's probably one you want to watch. That's probably really the best one for you to watch. But I love these. These are going to be my go places, look snazzy, but have air conditioning breeches. Because let me tell you what, I think those are cute. And I mean, they go up pretty high, but they stop. They go like this, but I mean, they overlap. And what I'll probably do is just find out where my safe place is and just do a little tack with a little needle and thread. Just do a little tack. Just so I don't show somebody my hootenanny, because as I've told you women before, your hootenanny is never in style. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that, okay? Not unless they're married to you. They don't want to see that, okay? I know I love those breeches too. I love the colors. Now, if I come across my sponsored crap, I'll stop and put it aside. But honestly, I don't think it's got there yet. And everybody's like, why do they only give you $30? Because when they reviewed my channel, they said, well, we'll let you be a level like 5 or 6, but you have to remove any content we don't agree with. Sorry, John. It don't work that way. Not here. Y'all, I got drainage from this mastoiditis. You wouldn't believe. That's why I can't wear any makeup. My eye makeup would just run off of me. Literally, I'm coughing and my ears are running. I still got caught to this ear. My ears are running. My nose is running. My eyes are running. So I'm not even attempting makeup. And so I'm well over this stupid sickness. So the nurse that came today, she was hilarious. And I don't know a lot of these new nurses, because what's happening is where I have to have a shot every day. They're all just rotating who's closest to me. They're grabbing it and bringing it to me and darting my butt. So it's like, hi, nice to meet you. Here's my butt. It's really, if I was able to be embarrassed, it would probably be embarrassing, but I'm not. Also, I'm repping for Laura Pergolizzi today, LP. Has a voice like an angel. Her mother was an opera singer. I might have to get my drink. And she's amazing. I've seen her 2 or 3 times in concert. I can't count now. Anyway, she's about this big, but her voice is ginormous. She's a beautiful person. She's very, very kind, sweet soul. And everybody's like, you're a hick. You're a hillbilly. I might be, but me and Peter Freestone had a chit chat for like 20 minutes last night. So I'm talking to people in Prague that helped, Freddie Mercury for 20 years. Well, for 13. So I must be some kind of sophisticated. Actually, he was just checking on me and checking on Haley because she's about to have the twins. So she's like hanging on for dear life. Like, I swear she would go early. No. She might as well put a mailbox on her head at this point because them babies ain't gonna pop out. They're waiting. Now they said if she doesn't go into into labor naturally, that they are going to induce her next Wednesday. But I don't want them to be born on March the 13th. But I guess the babies get to choose. Hi, Dylan. Hope you're having fun with Mary. But so I got my shot today, and it was a nurse I didn't know. But I have no shame. And I've had 6 or 7 shots to this point between the ERs and office visits. And I'm draining really bad right now, but it's actually a good thing. So just ignore the coughing. But when she darted me, I'm getting now so sore that it actually hurts to get shots. And I made this really odd sound. I went, oh, which was not like my normal ouch or dang it, you know. I went, oh, and she went, whenever, wherever we're meant to be together. And I like to die because we both joined in. And we were doing the Shakira voices too. And I'll be there and you'll be near. And that's the deal, my dear. I mean, and I didn't know this woman from anybody, but, and that's exactly what my owl sounded like. Ow, ow. And I just set off a Shakira song right in the middle of a nurse visit. Y'all, it happens. It was funny. This is pretty. I love green. Okay, first thing I gotta say is, ladies, wear you some good draws and a slip or shorts underneath this because you can see through it. Okay. As always, cover your butts, ladies. Be appropriate in society. Young ladies, young children, everybody. Be appropriate. But I love this. This is it's got a little gathered bosomy top. It doesn't have much stretch. It will already fit me. I can already tell you that. I won't be wearing this long because I'm as sick as I am. I'm losing weight really quick right now. My neuromuscular disorder has been so angry since I've been sick. Of course, I do have fluid basically right next to my brainstem. So, but I act like this normally too. So now I can't blame it on that. But the speech issues, I probably can. This goes down to my ankles. I'm 5'4", 5'5". So you've got a little umpire waist up under your tatas, and then it goes straight down. It does have a zipper in the back for you ladies that absolutely feel you must have a zipper. Listen, I'm like sausage. I just want to tube slide into everything and tube slide out. Okay, so but for you ladies that want zippers, it has a zipper. It's got a very cute spring print, and it's really long. Look how really long it is. And it's got a pretty full skirt on it, I must admit. And it's got kind of a cute little almost lettucey hem trim on it that I'm not mad at. I think this will be very pretty for spring and summer photos if I can make my husband put on anything but camouflage. And I think it will make my hair look a little bit more red because normally if I wear hunter green, my hair looks like a limousine heifer or a Solera cow. So that's what I'm going for. I do have a wig ordered. I don't know when it's going to get here, but we're all going to have fun that day. That's going to be a funny day. It's got some give up here, which I'm kind of concerned about because I'm not shaped like this. I'm shaped like this. So I'm concerned that this is more of the hourglass women and not more of us golf tee women. I'm sorry, I lifted weights in high school. Jesus, if you would just allow me to have a shape other than a golf tee, it would be okay. Anyway, that's really good. I like the fabric. It's a little thin, but it's going to be very cool in summertime. I don't mind a thin dress in the summertime. Just wear a slip or wear shorts underneath it because, you know, okay, you know. I know you know. I know you know. Hi, Ray Clay. What is it? They love green hair. Just had a green dress. It's beautiful, but I'm not allowed outside until my mastoid heals. So I'm stuck in the house until the wind stops blowing for the March and April crap. So, or I have to go to the ENT surgeon. And I don't necessarily like that man. I had to deal with him once for a year. Oh, this is Rubber Man. Hang on. Ow! Okay. And I don't really want to have to go back to him. And he says as long as I heal and it doesn't abscess, I don't have to. I hit the trash can. But I'm really trying to avoid him like the plague. Thank you. I put lights around them. Isn't it cute? I'm fixing to switch it out and put the green one back on top because everybody likes my mama's green quilt more than that. But I redone them in winter and washed them and restacked them, and that was the way they ended up stacked. And everybody's like, where's the green quilt? It's still there. I will never get rid of that green quilt. It's my mama's first quilt, so it was the first one she made to be pretty. Like she makes quilts, but that was the first one she made to make it to be pretty, to be a display piece. So I have that. I have the saw that she painted too, but I've got to clean it up and polyacrylic coat it. Polyacrylic coat it. Say that 5 times fast. Look, the big bags under my eyes are getting better. I'm perking up. I don't have a lot of energy yet, but I have some. And I have to move after the shots or I get the hematoma. So y'all are stuck with me early today. Sorry. Always check your corners because Customs likes to glue things and take things in bad places. I don't know what this is. I'll order stuff and then I'm like, I ordered that? What I ordered? Oh, it's another little dress. Apparently, I'm going to be having dresses on all the time this year. I got the size down. It's going to fit so it won't be so gigantic on me. Yeah, I'm probably about 8 pounds away from wearing this puppy, so give me about 3 weeks. I love paisley weird, and I love the flutter sleeves because let me tell you what, I used to have big muscles, and now since I'm losing fat, all I got is this big gangly stuff. I don't like it. So as soon as I can go back to the gym, I'm going back to the gym. I actually ordered the other night a boxing punching musical thing that's like Simon Says, but you put on boxing gloves and you punch where it says. I've been looking at it for a while, and I have a couple of friends that have it at home just for like to keep their heart rate up and to do exercise. And I was like, I want one because you can hook it to Bluetooth to your music and it to the music beat. You know, I was like, that's so freaking neat. And every time I get ready to go to the gym here, y'all see I get sick. Apparently God doesn't want me in the gym. Hello. So I thought, well, I had a 40% off coupon. So I went, I'm buying that. And so I bought that. And so I'm waiting for it to come in. And I'm also thinking that since I've been through so many frustrating things in the last few months, that'd be a great place for my anger. This is going to go really good with my skin and my hair. I mean, guillotine earrings, probably I'll change those out to something a little more girly. But I mean, I'm still rocking my guillotine earrings because this is the mood I'm in, okay? But this is like a faux wrap, although it does overlap about 4 inches. If you're like me, you're going to want a safety pin or safety stitch that because that's what my mama always told me. Okay, it's made to be cute, but you better make it to be decent. So I'll probably put me a little safety stitch in there. I love these flutter sleeves, though. It's going to hide most of the droopy parts of me that I don't like since I'm losing weight. Because I used to have big old biceps, and now my biceps are still there, but I've lost some muscle. But there's like bat wings, and I'm like, so I've gotten the compression sleeves, and I'm fixing to do a whole bunch of upper body stuff to get it. I mean, I can't do much with my legs; they're going crippled. My nerves are leaving me, but you know, my upper body I can still kind of get fit. This has also got a little umpire elastic waist right under your tatas. That's the only nicest way to say that. And it is about right below the knee, a little bit longer if you're short like me. It does have a pretty full skirt, but it's not going to blow over your head in the wind. That's nice. The seam is in the back, so the front looks great. Everybody's fussing about seams being in the back. Do y'all know how expensive fabric is? And if they were, for us big gals, to have to make a dress where the seams were only on the sides, they would cost 2 to 3 times as much because of the fabric that you would, because listen, when you cut fabric, patterns out, you can only cut certain ways. And this is a really good way to have an affordable dress. And I'm sorry, but I want you to see me walking towards you. And if you're looking when I'm walking away, I don't really want to know about it. So I don't care if you see the same. But I really do love this little dress. I think it's going to be really cute, especially for if I get to go to festivals this year, if I get healthy enough. Last time I had mastoiditis, I was sick from like February all the way to like August. I hope that doesn't happen today. I thought it was a really great pattern. I have a sponsored haul coming in, but yeah, everybody was like, why don't they give you like the $100? And they said, we'll make you a level 5 right now because of how many viewers I had. If I would go back and remove any videos off my channel they did not like. Pronouns. I thought pronouns were important. It's my channel. So I said no. So all I ever get to do is review $30 worth of products. But I'm okay with that because it's $30 worth of products I didn't have to buy. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm never going to be a big wig for Temu because they don't like me. No, they're just too controlling. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, you may not have my channel at all. And listen, if we all know if I tried to be like perfect for 2 days, it would last about 5 minutes and then I'd be gone. Oh, I love my earrings too. Just ignore the cotton. They're little guillotines. I love them. Okay, I'm going to make a sunflower wreath for my door, and I'm going to deck my porch out in sunflowers this year. Obviously, if y'all have watched me for any amount of time, y'all know I plant hundreds of sunflowers every summer, or every spring, so I can enjoy them every summer. And I collect seeds. I collect all my mammoth seeds. The other little ones I had last year, the lady said they were heirloom, and she lied. She lied. Don't lie to people. It's not nice. So I'm going to have to purchase a few more seeds, but I've got quite a bit of mammoth seeds off that one gigantic mammoth head that I had. So, but I got these, okay? These all together, I think were maybe $2.88. Okay, if you go to the Dollar Tree and try to get this many blooms, you'll have to go to the 5 and up section. And I know that because I've had to go there when I've been making Granny and Papa's funeral arrangements for their cemetery stuff. And I'm like, you snookered me, Dollar Tree. You told me there's $1.25, but the $1.25s literally are about a third this size and are not going to hold up in the sun. And to get these, you have to go to the 3 and up, and you legit get 1 to 2. I got all of these for like $2.88, $2.56 or $2.88. I'm going to use these to make a wreath for my door, though. I am doing Granny and Papa's cemetery stuff this spring. We're fixing to swap them out again. I got them solar white roses to go in the side so that I can just put greenery around, and that should last basically all year. I got Uncle Dwayne white roses with some, they look like alum, if you've ever seen those big alum plants, alum fuzzy balls, to go in there to match. And I'm going to talk to his daughter and see if she wants to do something extra special to like make a little saddle or something for the top of his little, because he's a veteran, so he has one of those little veteran graves, those little veteran tombstones. And I got a mom and dad a little plaque that see like the light can come through it. It's a silhouette, so you can put it in front of the, I can redneck engineer it to the solar flowers so you can see the mom and dad through the solar flowers. I'm smart. And mom's, because I've done the last 2 arrangements, mom's like, I'm getting the flowers for the saddle this time. And I was like, okay. So I'm going to take the lights that I have off the saddles up there that they're still working. Temu, still working. I've got 2 wine bottle cork big strands on there, and then I put a big standard Christmas lights on there at Christmas that are coming off, but I'm going to use the wine bottle ones again and weave back through, and we're just going to do a spring kind of thing. And then for Memorial Day we'll probably go out and add like more solar stuff or flags or something, but I make all the graveyard stuff mostly. And let me tell you what, the Dollar Tree, you think you're going to go in there and get out of there for $10. No, it's going to take you about 60 to make a pretty thing. And so I have learned that the Temu flowers, while they might be smaller in size, they have actually more flower heads on them. They last longer. They last longer in the sun, and you get more volume. So they come with more leaves and petals and stuff. So I've been doing Temu flowers. Okay, I got these big butterflies because I thought they'd be so cute stuck in my porch plants or around the front porch. And they kind of flutter in the wind. I don't know why I'm doing this, but this is what they do in the wind. And all the sticks are stuck together, so you have to take the little tip off. I guess they're scared somebody's going to hurt themselves with this. I do not know how stupid people in the world must be, but they have to put safety tips on these things so that people won't hurt themselves. You know, I worry when I see things like that have to be done, because then I'm like, how stupid are people? Pretty gosh darn stupid, I reckon. Okay, and so then this goes up here. Actually, I think you leave the one little end on. No, you can't, because it can't go on. Okay, work with me, buddy. Work with me. Where do you go? Okay, he's kind of, oh, there you go. He's kind of foamy, so you kind of have to stick it in there. And then when the wind blows, he flaps. And let me kind of separate his wings a little bit. Hang on. Watch me tear him up. Have him 2 minutes and tear him up. Let me separate his wings. Let me bend his wings. Separate your wings. Okay. And then when the wind blows, he'll kind of do this right here. Isn't that cute? That's so, and they're big. Like, they're big as my face. They're huge. And they're very bright colors. And so you'll kind of, what I'll do is I'll crook the thing and I'll stick them. And so when the wind blows, it'll look like they're fluttering on the flipping plant. I just think they're pretty, and I like flowers in my yard. Looks gorgeous in the summer. It looks like death in the winter. So I try to make my yard as pretty as possible. I think these are so good. These were literally, all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they were like 88 cents a piece when it came down to it. I think I go for $4.94, all of them. So, I mean, I got a yellow one, a red one, a pink one. Oh, this one's trippy. I like this one. And then I got a regular blue one. I like the trippy one. I don't know why I like the trippy one, but I like the trippy one. And I'm sticking everything in my houseplants in right now. So my houseplants are like, what are you doing to us? So, but they're holding all of my summer stuff. I'm just gonna, while I've got these things in my hands, I'm just gonna put them all on there. But you have to put them in the little hole, and then you have to kind of give them a little shove because it kind of clicks in. And it's kind of frustrating. Ugh. But you have to hold on to the bottom when you do this, because if not, you'll rip the wings off. Honestly, I'm not above putting some E6000 down in that hole either and making sure these suckers don't go anywhere. Because you know the tornadoes we had last year. If you watched my channel, you saw at least 3 tornadoes last year. You saw one up close and personal. So I'm hoping we don't have a lot of tornadoes this year, but I live on the crag of the mountain, and that's normally where the bad weather happens. So I just really think these are cute. I just really think these are cute. And if the wind blows them at all, they're going to flutter. And I'm like, whoop, they're cute. Oh, ouch. That was my finger. Okay. Also, update. If you all saw me with that little yellow sponge that had a green side and a pink side, it was yellow with a green thing on one side and a pink thing on the other. And I said it's supposed to take hair off, but I didn't believe it would. I was like, it's probably the exact phrase I said, actually. Do y'all remember that? No, poked finger too. Oh, I love LP. She's amazing. Laura Pergolizzi. Okay, this is not lying. Like, I have I have such an eclectic friend circle, but I'm also a retired counselor and a parole officer. And so I like Laura Pergolizzi. The first time I watched, the first video I saw was Lost on You. And I was watching it with a friend from Wisconsin online who was like, here, watch this with me. Look at this. And so the first thing I said was, oh, look at that cute little Italian man. And they said, that's a woman. I went, oh, look at that cute little Italian woman. Because she's just absolutely freaking adorable. I want her hair so bad. She just rolls out of bed and goes, and goes, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I want her hair so bad. She can whistle like a songbird. I don't understand how she does that. But she's about this big. Literally, I could like snap her like a twig if I wanted to. She's so tiny. She has a little platform she stands on when she sings on stage so that the crowd can see her. But she's the sweetest thing. I got to work her merch stand for 2 hours in Nashville because that was the only chair in the whole house. And I met the man named Joey Relish that was going with her on tour. You know, he does a lot of tour stuff. He's a nice guy. And I was like, fat lady needs that chair. Because I was like 70 pounds heavier then, okay? And that was like, I took my daughter. Yeah, I took my daughter as it was her. She was 18 and she got a 4.0 in high school. And to go see LP, and so we went to Nashville to see LP, and we took Kim because we take Kim everywhere. And he's like, okay, yeah, you can sit here. And we started talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm retired law enforcement. I was like, this is a really good show. It was my favorite album she did, the one with You Want It All and Lost on You and all that stuff. That was my favorite album. Although I like some of her other stuff too. But I got to work her merch stand because she called and she needed something backstage. And he was like, I've got to go. She needs something backstage. My other lady is not here. He's like, can you run this for just a couple minutes? Like, do you know how to do this? And I was like, he's like, thank you so much. And so I got to run the merch stand for like 2 hours at the Nashville. I think it was at the Cannery, which if you've been to the Cannery, you know there are no chairs anywhere. Anywhere. And it was a fun show. I literally, like, she was like a 4-hour long show. We stood in line. What was wrong was we stood in line for like 2 hours to get in, even though we had tickets. And it was the longest show, but it was a great show. She sung everything and then more because people were just, I mean, she's just a little spitfire of energy. And sweet as she can be. I mean, and most of her shows are open to families. So people had their 4 and 5-year-olds on their shoulders rocking out to the songs too, because, you know, most of them, I mean, she's pretty family friendly, to be quite honest. So she's got a pretty good vibe when she has her shows. I really love her. But I got to write a music review for her in a music forum online. And I can't even for the life of me remember where it was. Crap. Anyway, but I was very proud of myself because I went to that concert and I submitted my music review, and where I've been published a couple of times before, they grabbed mine. And I was like, oh, that was so sweet. I just killed a butterfly. And I had so much fun at that concert. And so when Joey came back, he was like, you can, you know, if you need to leave. I was like, no, I'm just going to sit. I sat actually in the windowsill for a while too, because they had the big windowsills. And we were letting everybody leave. And I was like, we're parked in the back 40. I'm going to let everybody leave, and then I'll scoot away. And he's like, well, I had made little buttons that said Orson for president, if you know her dog Orson. This is LP, just Laura Pergolesi. And he said, I said, here's like 10 for her to share with her crew. I said, I've given them away all evening. And he said, well, if you wait a few minutes, she'll be out. And I said, dude, my legs, I've got a 2-hour drive home I've got to get. Literally 30 minutes later, she came out. And these cuties are so cute. These are so cute. And she was like, oh my God, who made these? And then she found out I ran her merch stand. And then I got like 2 bandanas and a shirt. My friend got to pick out a shirt. It was a fun event. I had fun. And I ran her merch stand. So hey, claim to fame. Whoop, whoop. I like Laura Pergolesi. I think sometimes she gets too caught up in her relationships, but that's a personal thing. I can't tell her not to do that. That one popped like the other one. The other one didn't pop. But she has a beautiful voice, and she whistles like an angel. She sounds like a songbird. Like she could call up a quail here in the sticks. She's got a voice. And when she's on stage, her voice is 10 times bigger than when she's not on stage, because I expected to hear a beautiful voice. She stretched it so much farther on stage. And I'm like, how does this woman do this? I don't understand how she's physically capable of doing this. Some of these pop in and some of them don't. I'm really irritated that they're not all popping in. But I'm going to E6000 them, so it doesn't matter. They ain't going to go nowhere unless they take the stick with them. This is the pink one. I'm sure most of the ladies will like the pink one. I like the weird blue one. But I think these are so cute. And as these kind of get their natural movement when the wind, I think it'd be so cute. Any wind's going to make them flutter. So I also have found the Mother's Day gift of all Mother's Day gifts. So I'll show those to you later too. I got champagne clear. I question some of my nail choices. Now these I like. The champagne clear, I question. So I wonder, like, am I in a different personality mode when I'm ordering nails or something? Do I go into like, girly mode? That's me sweeping my hair back that I don't have. I like the weird one too. I'm gonna have so much fun putting those out. I'm trying to get stuff to look forward to summer, because I'm stuck in this house until this cold wind stops blowing. And since I live up here on top of the crag, that's literally until the end of April. So I ain't going to be enjoying nothing. What is this? What are you? Ugh. Probably another dress. I mean, let's just be honest. I think I've ordered every dress I've seen. But I really like dresses now. I used to not like dresses because, I was a parole officer. I had to be tough. I had to look tough everywhere I went. And now that I'm not a parole officer, I'm like, I can look whatever I want to, but I can also tell people, leave me the heck alone. You know, I can still be butch when I want to, but I can put on a pretty dress. But if I need to bring out the butch side, I can do it. This is another faux wrap. So, yeah, we're going to be doing another safety stitch. We can dance if we want to. We can leave our friends behind. Sorry, that's the way my head works. Safety dance song came in. What got me about this dress is it's got a little rough bottom, and it's a little bit longer than a 3/4. It hits, I know I just smacked myself in the face. It hits me literally about 4 inches above my ankle, so a little below mid-calf. But what got me was the ties on the sleeves. Don't ask me why. It's the little things in life. I don't know. But I can put this on and I can hide the fat flutter that's coming where I'm losing weight. But then I can still show off all my tattoos. Because it'd be open and it'd show my tattoos off. Like, you know, I just think that's neat. Hang on. Let's just put this on for a moment. Over my oh my God button because David's making me wear it because he's scared because I've been kind of woozy. But look, I can have this on and people can still see Freddie. Look, Freddie's peeking at you. Don't look. That's Freddie. Don't look, Freddie. There's Freddie. So people can still see all my ink, except for my back, you know. So they can still see all my ink. But I look like a girl. See? See? I'm getting good at this. I can be a girl. I'm a delicate flower. No, I'm really not. But this is like, I think this is probably my favorite. It's got like little wheat bundles and straws on it and dandelion heads and stuff. I like it a lot. A lot. I like it a lot. It doesn't have a faux tie at the waist though. It's just got the elastic. But oh well, I guess these make up for it. This is pretty. This is well made. It is kind of that shiny stuff, but I'm here to tell you, this stuff in the summer stays cool to the touch. So when you're hot and the wind blows, it cools this fabric and then it touches you and it feels like air conditioning. So for you women that haven't caught on that some of this little kind of shiny stuff like this on the inside, it's like air conditioning. It's like the inside of a cooler hitting your leg when the air blows, and it's very nice in the summertime. And if you've not figured that out, I just told you, now you know. But I love these, and I love these strings, and I love that I can still let my arms show. So, because, you know, you put so much time and effort into tattoos, you don't want to hide them all the time. I have tattoos that I can't share, but, I mean, most of them are, you can see them. I mean, you can show that. I don't care if you're showing that. I'm a fat girl. I'm a heifer, but I tell everybody I'm the prize heifer. And, I will win the Blue Ribbon County Fair every year. But yeah, us big girls need to look cute too. Us big girls need to look cute too. And considering I'm rocking no makeup and mastoiditis today, and I'm very sick, although my fever has broken. So I'm much better. Oh God, we've got a moissanite box. Oh, these are cute. These are dark glitter. These are more my style. These are like a green gray, gunmetal gray. Oh, look. Oh, how cute. Oh, they match my gun. I had to do that just one more time. They match my gun. That's going to be pretty. That's going to be pretty. Like even my red ones look really nice too. But I'm thinking the glitter black is really going to accentuate this nice stock. I'm just saying. It's look, if you're going to hold a weapon, at least have pretty nails, you know. This one's not loaded. The clip's out, people. Learn about, there's nothing in here, okay? Because the clip's right here. And if there'd been a bullet in there, it would have flipped out when I opened the bolt. So learn about your weapons, people. But I mean, if you're going to hold a weapon, you might as well have pretty nails. I think it adds something to it. Now, I mean, even when it adds something to it. It really does. I think it really does. You know, those pretty girls that model the guns. I mean, I'll never be one of them, but at least I have pretty hands. I mean, if you only look at my hands, I'm pretty. Take my strong hand, my strong arm. That's what I've named that sunflower up there. Take my strong arm. Okay, I got these for when I wanted to let my nails rest and just put on some color wraps. I thought these were, God, this is a lot. I thought these were gorgeous. They're marble, but kind of oceany looking at the same time, but then they got a lot of sparkle. I don't mind these color wraps. They normally do really good on my nails, and I keep my nails pretty short, so it's not a big problem. And I like to let my nails breathe every once in a while after I put on. So I'd get some of these to filter in between. I like them. I like them. Don't mess with this. That's just a 17. It's just a varmint gun. I said I would have showed you my 9mm, but she's in the bedroom. She's pretty, but she's dirty. She needs to be cleaned. Like, I should be smacked. She's so dirty, but she's pretty. She's a nice weighted, firm 9mm Smith & Wesson. She's pretty. I think she's sexy. But I'm also retired law enforcement, and I got a thing for guns. So, okay, this is another one of those. You know, I told you I ordered a different color of one of those patterned tank tops. This is the other one. I ordered red, not the white. Probably because I thought summer heat, I'm going to sweat. We don't want to see through that. So, yeah, I got the red one. Now, listen. No, you step. It goes up here. It doesn't do that. It stays up here. It's got like the business neckline, which I like in case I want to wear like a long dangling necklace with my, because I'm going to wear boho skirts and possibly those pants with this. Okay, so stop it. That's what's going to go with this. So probably those orange pants that were at the first. Let me dig them back out. It may be too, I don't know. It's got the color in there. So I can literally wear even pink with these. But I thought, okay, I'll wear my big air-conditioned breeches that's got the slits up the front. You know, I'm going to safety tack those. Don't listen. I ain't going to put on a show for nobody. Well, I mean, not with my body. I might say some funny stuff. But I thought this would be cute together. Well, you can't see it now. But see, I thought it'd be cute together. Get like a dark impact and then wear like a darker shoe and have like a dark impact. Or I could go light and have a lighter impact. But I mean, you know, but I like this. It's thick enough that you're not going to see any color bra you wear. It's got a very good sewed edge on it. A very nice, strong hem. And I'm tickled to bits with this. This is going to be like a tank top, but like a bougie tank top, you know? It's like not a wife beater. It's a, I don't know, what's a bougie form of a wife beater? A domestic partner altercation shirt. Oh, sorry, I crack myself up sometimes. But it does have a little bit bigger armholes, but you know, I've got a burgundy bandeau bra that will match this perfectly. So I'll just Gypsy. Oh God! Now I learned a new term, and it's not going to be. I can't believe it. Oh my God! I started it. Oh geez! Oh, this one came in a Ziploc bag. Listen, I'm a retired parole officer, and I now have so many of those tiny little jewelry bags in my house that I'm afraid if I ever had somebody come in that was like law enforcement, they would think I was slinging dope. Because when you get lots of those, you know, that they're like the little corner ones, like the little rings come in, I'm like, throw those away. Because I used to see these, they would buy them, and I would see them in everybody's houses, and I'm like, what are you measuring out? It's like, where's your scales? I know what you're up to. And now I've got like 500 of those tiny little ones. And I'm like, somebody comes in my house, they're going to think I'm selling dope. Because I see through parole officer eyes. I can't stop it. I can't stop it. Yeah, laughter is good medicine. And Joshua Shrock made me laugh my butt off about an hour ago. Joshua Shrock, he's got SMA, but he's got the best, like today's news. He does what he calls a news speed round. And it's normally like 2 to 4 minutes. And he'll give you like the top story that he saw today that really interested him. And today's story was in Huntington Beach, California. They are deciding that no flags will fly unless they're government officiated flags. So they're making them take down all the other flags. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because on city, you know, public property that taxpayers pay for, it should be either city or government or military flags. And that's the three. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then on your own personal territory, you can do whatever you want to. Well, I mean, within reason, you can't do some things. There are laws against that. But I mean, you can pretty much watch YouTube lag me right now. You stop at YouTube. I can talk about this. You stop sucking down my bandwidth. But anyway, on your own personal property, you can fly whatever you want to. Like when that Merritt guy came out and said you're a terrorist if you have these 5 flags, I went and bought the one I didn't have on Amazon. Make sure I had all 5 because I didn't want there to be any in his mind who I was. So you fly whatever you want to on your own property. But this is Huntington Beach, California, like California. It's not Florida. It's California. So if crap like that is starting to happen in California, can you imagine the wave that's fixing to hit this nation? Which in some ways it's going to be good. In some ways it's going to be bad because when the pendulum swings, it always goes too far. It needs to be like right here, you know. But, you know, we might enjoy it for about 5 years right here. And then it's probably going to go too far and then we'll have to swing back the other way. That's the only bad thing about society is no one believes in like a mediated pendulum. Instead of a whoo, we should stay right here. But I thought that's a good sign because they were getting tired of organizations that never helped anybody that would just bought 6 mansions flying flags everywhere. And I can understand that. And kind of if you don't do what you say you're going to do, I'm probably not going to like you. So I can understand that. But I think it's good that they're saying we need to do like most other states. And listen, if it's city, taxpayer property, it needs to be city, state, government, or military officiated, you know, that's it. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. You know, and that cuts out all religions. I'm cool with that too. Because I can fly whatever flag I want at my home. And I would think that if you had your religion, you would also represent yourself at your home. I don't need these big buildings in the middle of town to tell me who I am. I can do that on my own 40 acres, you know? So I'm like, wow. But he started his video and he was like, he always does some kind of funny punch in there. And he was like, Huntington Beach, California. He said, I'm pretty sure. He's like, my mama told me this place was a devil. And then he put a clip in of the water boy. And I like to have died. I was trying actually to eat a coconut popsicle and about choked on it. So if you have not ever gone and watched Joshua Chirac, please go watch Joshua Chirac. Subscribe. He will give you the best news speed runs. And it's literally 2 to 4 minutes of your day, but you're going to come away laughing and with knowledge of what's going on. He does lean center to right. So I'm not, that's probably no surprise. But his wit is it's worth just watching for his wit. I'm just telling you. And I have a lot of friends that don't agree with, my life philosophy, but we find something to always bond on. And so like for people that are like, I can't like you because you don't support this. Well, I buy generic milk at Walmart too. Do you hate me for that? I mean, there's so many things that you can really like pick on people for. I'm more of like, I want to see your motives, your intentions, your actions. Those are things I'm looking at, how you treat people. Because I don't care what your beliefs are, who you are. If you're kind to me, I'm going to be kind to you. And so that's kind of how I go by it. That's why I've got so many different friends and I like so much different music. And I think Laura Pergolizzi is amazing. I personally, in her relationship life, liked her much better with Lauren Ruth Ward. Just going to say it. I thought she had better music and had a better vibe personally to her then. I don't know, maybe she's outgrowing me or I'm outgrowing her. I don't know. But this woman has the voice of an angel. And if you've not listened to her music, I would recommend going to YouTube and typing in LP You Want It All and just enjoy. It's beautiful. She's got beautiful music. I don't have to like her to say she has a beautiful voice and she's gloriously talented. So people get that so mixed up. I'm feeling better. I'm doing better. My fever broke. This is my first day without a whole fever and I'm doing better. I still look like death because I'm not putting on any makeup because I'll just sweat it off. But I'm doing good. Okay, moissanite. I still don't understand these cards. Let me show you my ring. Let me show you its credentials. I just don't get this. I'm trying. I'm a non-discriminating people. Well, I mean, I have a very close circle that I trust, but I have a lot of friends like all across the world. And but I have very few that I trust with my life, and you know that. But I do have a lot of friends across the world with a lot of different beliefs, and I like when they challenge my beliefs, because if my beliefs are challenged, then it makes me have to form my beliefs even stronger so that I can believe in my beliefs and I can verify and validate and help them understand how I came to those beliefs. And it just, it's kind of like a checkmate. You have to be very assured of, that you know what you know and that you know who you are. So I don't mind people that test me, but I do have a very small, like, trust with my life group of friends. I put on my glasses somewhere. Oh my God, this is why do I always get a D quality? I'm paying good money and I want something. Is D a good cut? I don't know. You would think A, B, or C would be better. I don't know what it means, if it's good quality or not, but I'm getting tired of seeing a D, because by God, I'm paying decent money. Is that a B or a D? It's a D. I'm paying good money. This was like, I want an A, Moissanite. You send me a freaking leather box. Why can't you send me an A? And they put it in a little drug dealer baggie. I can't stand these things, because when people come to my house, I'm like, they're going to think I'm dealing dope. And it's just rings from Temu. Temu, can we change this? Because you make me feel like I'm slinging something not to be, okay? Because these bother me, because I'm a retired parole officer. I can't stand them. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, so even if it's a D, it's pretty. Dang light. But look how shiny that is. And don't get your panties in a wad. I got a spin that I got 70% off. That's the only reason I bought it. So I'm not getting highfalutin. I just got a really good deal and I picked it. This is the adjustable one. Like, I had it on my ring. And it's silver, and you can't tell it's adjustable until you really look, but I can put it literally as long as I pull it apart. I can put it on any finger I want to put it on. You just have to keep pulling. I had it pulled down to my ring finger. But there's that one. I mean, it's pretty. I like the band on it because it's got some, burn it, Elvis. I like the band on it because it's got some interest in it, because most of them are just plain. I like that. I'm still telling you, if you go on Temu and you want to do the silver plated moissanite, try one that's really cheap. They have the moissanite snowflake on sale for 95 cents right now. If you want to try it and see how they shine, go try it. You will wear the silver off eventually, but then it's 95 cents. You can figure out if you like the diamonds or not. And yeah, they're lab created, but who the freak cares? I like this big hunka. It's like a man's ring. It's adjustable, but I don't care. I like that one. But I have on my evil eye over here today. So, I mean, this is pretty. I don't understand. I need to look up and understand all the cut and quality and everything they put on those stupid cards, but I just really don't care. It's pretty. It is. This was a full carat or a 2 carat. I can't remember. Guess I should have read the back. Okay, hang on. Hello. Tell me how big this is. Thank you very much. Tell me how big my ring is. Oh, come on. Come off it. Tell me how big my ring is. Tells me everything else. Even tells me it's round. I'm not blind. Clarity. Yeah, excellent. Something other else says none because it doesn't have none. What? Because I got the deal, I think I got the 2 carat. Because I was like, why not? As in the words of, hey, everybody, I'm engaged. Leave me alone. Actually, I'm married. Leave me alone. Actually, before I was even married, it was just like, leave me alone. I didn't have a lot of time or patience for men. When I moved back to town after my divorce, I literally pulled into the Walmart parking lot and got by a law car with somebody. He just recently passed away too. Sorry, I'm not talking ill of you. I'm just telling the truth. A law car, and then 2 friends that I'd had that tried to date me in high school that I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And they like were on me when I pulled in the Walmart parking lot, and I was like, feeling a little paranoid here. And so I get out and I'm like walking into It was the Walmart or Tractor Supply because they used to be right there at the same place. And they were like, well, hey, Liz, what are you doing back in town? I moved back to the farm. I got divorced. Me and the kids moved back to the farm. And then they just started asking me all these questions. They were like walking me up to the door. And I turned around and I said, listen, fellas, I'm divorced, not in heat. Y'all can go away. I don't think any of them ever spoke to me again. And one just passed away like a week ago Sunday. And I felt kind of bad because I was like, that was not like the nicest last thing to say to somebody. But then again, he bum rushed me in a parking lot. So what can I say to that? You know you did it. But I was just like a divorced woman. Apparently I had like a scarlet A on I don't know. My ex-husband kept falling into other people's vaginas, and I thought, I don't need to keep him. He's too clumsy. And it was temp agency secretaries. It wasn't like someone of quality. I keep telling Dave, we've been remarried for 21 years now. I keep telling David, I said, don't worry, if I ever find a sugar daddy, I'll make sure he can keep both of us up. And David's like, you're too mean, you'll never find a sugar daddy. Amen. I am a turd on a good day. You may ask my parents. Sometimes my mama pops into my lives. She will tell you, I'm a turd on a good day. I think that's why they put me with the murderers when I worked for the parole department. Huh. Just thought about that. Probably because they thought if the murderers was going to give me crap, I was probably going to give them crap. Well, I did. I gave them crap right back. But they probably thought, well, she can handle those people. I had fun. Most of the murderers, like I'm going to tell you something. Most of the people that came out of prison and they've spent 10, 15, 20 years, they've worked through whatever emotionally caused that altercation 99% of the time. So you just get somebody that's ready to come back out and try to uninstitutionalize their brain. I'd take 5 murders over 1 meth offender every day. I was literally like swapping when like they would be paroling people. I was like, here, you take the drug offenders, I'll take the murders. So I literally had all the murders because everybody's scared of them. I'm not scared of them. Psychologically, they're a lot less dangerous than someone that's always screwed up on drugs. That's the way I think. Listen, I was using my education. And thank you for your help. And I don't know. Well, you know, I had 84% success rate, and I have 4 that have gone into the ministry. So I'm just saying, maybe I had a good impact. I need to share some of one of mine's music. I call him Pantene because he had long blonde hair, and I gave everybody nicknames because I refused to call him a Thomas number because they were people. But I gave him nicknames, and he had long hair, and he was like 6'4" and looked like a Viking. And I was like, oh, you got pretty hair. I'm going to call you Pantene. And I still to this day call him Pantene. And he still to this day answers to the name Pantene. So, and he's doing some awesome music. He's winning some songwriting competitions. And he's talking about overcoming addiction and creating a better life. And I'm just really tripping. I'm proud of him. What the crap is this? I dropped it. But I'm really proud of him. And I keep saying I'm going to share his music, and he keeps writing more, and I watch it and enjoy it, and then I'm like, I need to screen record that and share it, and then I'm like, I forget. I've been a little busy lately though, between the ER and the doctors and all the shots I've had in my bum in the last week. Okay, this was a freebie. It looks a little worse for the wear, but we'll see how do you get into it. Here it is. So if you are elected to be in the Temu circle, don't feel bad. It took him like 6 months to get to me. Don't feel bad, okay? I think they profile. And I have 2 Temu profiles because my iPad and my Android were not compatible. And they finally let my one that does the product reviews in the Temu circle, in the club. That's what I think about Temu circle. But they do give you free, like you get 4 free things a month, and you get so much off, so much back every order. And literally, I will order enough, I make some money off of it. Honestly, I'm like, ooh, Temu Cash, I can buy some more. So I've gotten more clothes items and stuff that I normally wouldn't buy because I've had 30 to 60% back sometimes and 90% off of things. And heck yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of those. So for $3.99, it's costing me $3.99 a month. You have to spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, you have to pay that month. So far, I'm cheap. I'm getting lucky, but I don't know when I spend it next month. I don't know what to say. But I got one of these for free, and these were like $6.99. It's metal, really good metal, really good metal. And I bought other ones of these, and then they put it on the option for the free thing, and I was like, ooh, more. So I'm gonna put these all over my front porch. I'm totally decking out my front porch in sunflowers and turquoise this spring to match the cow skull that Sabrina painted for me, and to match, because I like to grow those vining lazy Susans in my obelisk, which got knocked over by the tornado last year and killed, so I didn't have my lazy Susan vines. But I'm going to have them this year. I'm going to anchor that sucker to the porch. I don't care if Auntie M comes flying through. That sucker is going to stay on the porch. I'm fixing it. But I'm going to put these on the wall and to go. So my porch is going to be yellow and turquoise. Of course, my porch, I've got a red cabin siding and green, which needs to be repainted porch. And I've got, you see the patching where we've not painted? That's where we patched, and I haven't painted yet because I'm a procrastinator when it comes to paint. So if you watched Sabrina's videos, you saw my patched porch roof. I'll paint it, don't worry. But I also bought sunflower rugs to go on the porch instead of that chevron thing that I have that every time the wind blows, it flies over to the fence. So, but this was like $6.99. I got it as you get 4 free gifts a month, like every week. So I got this one, and actually it's today the 7th. If today's the 7th, it starts my 3rd week, and I get to get another pick. So when you order, you get, once a week, you get a free gift. And some of them are pretty nice, but I wanted this one because I'd already bought like 3, and I thought, more, yay. That's pretty much my motto in life. More, yay. So I was very pleased with that. I want my wig to come in. I bought a wig, okay? And I'm gonna tag a little bit of nail. And I'm gonna tag Menopause and Madness. And I'm gonna tag Shannon D. I'm gonna tag anybody that's ever, because I've done the hair extensions, the little braids, the ponytail, I've done that because my hair is getting longer now. It's really hard to match my hair though. And I've gotten it down to a science right now. But I found a whole wig for like $7 or $8. Now it's going to be synthetic as crap, and it probably ain't gonna last that long. And honestly, I bought it just for the laugh factor, okay? But I had hair the same color as my limousine heifer I showed. Yes, that's a cow. My limousine heifer that I showed in high school, and it darkened after I had my son. He got my red hair, and I got this auburn dark stuff that is not the color it used to be. And so I've always wanted to know, well, would my red hair still look good on me if I had my red hair? So I bought me a like 26-inch long red wig. I almost said wed rig. I can talk. Okay, my neuromuscular disorder will calm down when the mastoiditis leaves because the fluid is close to my brainstem, and it's really making... speaking, but it's making speaking the words. It's making it very hard. I'm dying. It's like I looked at David the other day and I said, "Look, David." I looked at David the other day and I said, "Do you want bacon or biscuits?" And it came out as not bacon or biscuits. It was like Bisquick or Macon, and I was like, pause, rewind. Bacon or biscuits. So it's been that's been the struggle of all this. But I got another thing of shiny nail. I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe I thought they just go with everything. I don't know. Maybe I had something possessed me at 3 a.m. to buy champagne colored nails. I don't know. I'm more of a dark kind of gothy kind of nail person, to be quite honest. Oh, speaking of gothy stuff, I have found, I'm the better David. I doubt that. I got me a 6-foot Grizzly Adams, big old burly boy that can bust a rick of wood quicker than the hydraulic splitter. Buddy, he's something. I think my husband's in on a stick. Isn't it nice and refreshing to hear women say that? Because most women don't say that. I love my husband. I adore him. Boy, I'd hate to make him mad, though. He's a big old barrel-chested boy from all them years of being a lumberjack and cutting wood. He used to be a logger. Now he traps and tans. He works in the factory too, but he traps and tans. And I got a video of him the other day. He had something. He called me. He said, well, I caught something at the culvert snare. I said, well, what was it? He goes, I don't know. I ain't pulled it out yet. He said, I'm going to prop up this here phone. And if it's something that gets me, you call 911. I said, okay. And then I went online later and I said, my husband pulls coyotes out of culverts. What does your husband do? He pulled it out and it was a beautiful red coyote. But that coyote come out flying. He's going to fight. And I was cackling on the phone because I knew he wasn't in any danger. He can handle it. We just didn't quite know what was on the end of it till we saw the coyote. And he can handle a coyote on a snare. That's not a big deal. But if y'all have watched the one where the beaver charged him, like this beaver, instead of catching the snuff itself normally in a snare, it caught it like a girdle waist. And I was like, you stupid little beaver. But we felt kind of bad for it because that had to be uncomfortable, you know. And normally when you snare like that, you try to get a paw or around the neck so they either get a quick choke death or they wait until you get a quick death, you know, the next morning. And that beaver had just girdled itself right around the middle, and it had the biggest steak face on it. Y'all, I grew up in the woods hunting, doing taxidermies. This beaver had the biggest snake face on it that I've ever seen. It was like, I'm pissed at you. I'm gonna get you if you walk up in my little circle. I can run. And I was taking video. And I was like, don't you look at me like that, son. And David got up there, and of course, you know, he has to dispatch it. So he was trying to get it out of the water, you know, because he didn't want to have to wade in after it. And it came running on that little string. It knew the circle it could make on that snare. So it was waiting until David stepped in the circle. And I was like, he's a smart little turd. And then it jumped. And I'm sorry, but a beaver charging, even though they can bite you and do a lot of damage because their teeth are literally longer than my fingers. They go back in their skull. You pull it out and they're like that long. They're bent. I used to make earrings out of them. They're actually really pretty. He come bounding it down. And you hear me on the background cracking up. Because I was like, you got charged by beaver. And David's like, he took a step back like, what the heck? But that little beaver's like, I'm going to kill you, man. Oh, he was very cute. He's very sweet. I named him Pine Knot because he wasn't going to give it up quick. And he's tougher than a pine knot. And I promised him before David dispatched him. I said, I will make something. I said that we'll go to one of the tribes. I said, you are the snarkiest little beaver I've ever seen. You deserve to go to one of the tribes. So we're actually going to do a beaver hoop to go to one of the tribes this year. So he's going to end up in a ceremonial hut because I respect that kind of little. Well, he's about a 45-pound beaver. He just come a. I just got the biggest cackle out of that because I was like, that's a 260-pound man. What do you think you're going to do? But now I've had like 400-pound hogs run at me and not had a tree to get up. And you just have to ugly them down, grab a sapling when they get up next to you, and then kick them in the head real hard when they run underneath you and hope they divert and go another way. But now, since I've got this neuromuscular disorder and gained all this weight, I don't do any of that anymore. I was a rough little cuss when I was young. I'd have a really fun YouTube channel if I was still the person I was back in the day before I got attacked with an axe. And made not quite right. My body doesn't work right anymore. My legs I will eventually end up in a wheelchair. But I'm doing as much as I can to stay going and keep going right now. So, naughty Spotty. But that took me a minute. That took way longer than it should have. Naughty Spotty. That's a first. That's a good first name. What was the holy moly? I missed it, Ray Clay. What was the holy moly? I've done way farther dangerous things. Okay, so when you have a hunting lodge and you have hogs, every so many months, the USDA wants them inoculated again because you have to follow USDA standards if you have a fenced hunting preserve. And my brother had one. And so I hear a helicopter. It's a helicopter. Do you hear a helicopter? You will in a minute. That's not a good sign. It means they're flying somebody in or out. Because we don't have a hospital here. We have a triage center and they fly them in and out. It's a helicopter. Oh, the little, oh yeah, that little beaver just, he was like, I'm gonna get you, man, I'm gonna get you. And I just thought, props to you, son. You're gonna get a special place. So we've got his hide marked, and we've got it's kind of like a sights tag, but it's a red tag. We punched it through him so we can tell which one's him, because that's my pine knot. And we're gonna make a beaver hoop and just deck it out in the color wheel, the health wheel colors. And I'm trying to wait for this helicopter to come over, but it's must be skirting right above the clouds. But yeah, I wanted to make sure he went to a special place, because that was a fierce warrior, and I wanted him to be taken care of. Oh, did you, Braden? I'm sorry. I will say that Temu is one of those things that you have to be careful with. Like I give myself allowances. Like, these are numbers that I don't cross, and I stay within those numbers. But I do a lot of the lightning rounds, and I will put stuff in my cart and then wait, because if they'll try to say, oh, it's selling out, gonna be gone soon. They're lying. Don't believe them. They're lying. Just let it sit. And if it sells out, it wasn't meant to be. But most of the time, they will then give me a discount on whatever I've left in my cart. And I'm like, yep, thank you. But I do a lot of the lightning deals and a lot of the under $1. And so I get a lot of my soaps and healthcare face stuff under $1 or under $2 at least. But I've been able to splurge on a little bit more clothes because of Temu Circle, but you can't ask to be added into. They just have to offer it to you. And I finally, after like 6 months, got it offered to me. Still a little ticked about that one. It took 6 months when I'm such a good customer. But I got into it, and so they give you 4 free gifts a month when you order. If you do 4 orders, you get a free gift with each order. So they basically give you a free gift each week. And I get like a lot of 70 to 90% off now. I used to get 1 a week or 2 a week. Now I'm getting 1 every time I open my phone. Or I'll get, buy this at 70% off, or buy this at 90% off and get 5 items at 70% off. Well, okay. And I know what they cost normally, so I'm making sure they are giving me the 70% off. And I've been able to scoop up some really cute spring and summer dresses and clothes. So but I am careful. I am careful about how much I spend. Now I do take advantage when I win my games and you get those $40 off a $100 purchase, or $30 off me. I take advantage of those coupons. So when I know I'm getting close to winning a game, like I'm getting close to winning a game. So we'll have what's coming in will come in, but I probably will have a break there because I'll wait and not buy anything for a few weeks. And then when I win that game, I'll use those big coupons and buy everything. And so that's why sometimes I have breaks in my Temu hauls, because when I'm getting ready to get one of those $30 or $40 coupons, I'm like, we're just going to wait and stack our money for a minute so we can really buy what we want. And so that's why sometimes I have breaks in my Temu hauls. But I've learned how to manipulate them quite well. And if you want to learn more tricks like that, Holler Time, HAULER Time, Holler Time, Amy at Holler Time. She's like an accountant kind of person. And so she will tell you all the tips and tricks of how to make the most of your discounts and like stockpile coordinate them to where you get, basically they're sending it to you for free. She's good. She's good. Yeah, the games work, but they only work they work faster if you purchase, but even if you don't buy anything, you can play the game and you can win items from never purchasing. It will just probably take you 8 months to win the game. But if you've got 20 minutes every day that you want to feed a fish or feed a plant, you can literally log in and just play the games and never purchase a thing and just play off the points they give you each day and win something completely for free. It just will take you a long time. But as you purchase, they give you points, and that amps up your food, and you feed quicker and you win. So I've got one profile that I've never bought on, and I'm like just waiting to see how long it takes me to feed the freaking fish that's gonna live forever. So, but I'm seeing how long it takes. So yeah, there's your tip of the day. So without even buying anything from Temu, just putting the app on your phone and playing the games, you can get stuff completely for free. Just takes a long time. But if it's going to take a long time, you might as well pick the expensive things and then really play the game for a long time and then get you like a mixer and stuff like that. Like, you know, pick the nicer stuff they offer. Yeah, they have a payment process for like if you want a more expensive item that you can pay so much per week or something, or yeah, and like you can do installments. I've never used it. So I don't know how I don't know how well it works. I've never used it myself, but I've saw that payment plan option. They've never, and I will say about Temu, they've never taken a penny that they weren't owed, and they've given me back stuff that honestly I've been like, this came like this, I can fix it. And they're like, no, we were supposed to come in perfect condition. Here's your money back. So they've been really good to me. I ordered a bunch of stuff for Haley's. She likes to deck out her front porch. And I ordered a bunch of stuff for the baby announcements, blue bows and It's a Boy and It's a Girl flags and the hooks and the hangers and everything. That bag got lost. I've only ever had like 2 bags go missing. That bag went missing. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, you know, if we give it another week before I reorder, I said, when it's already been out 3 weeks and I've not got an update in 7 days and the tracking number is no longer valid, I said, I think it's a wasted week. And I said, I would just much rather at this point have my money back so I can reorder and get it to her, because if I wait, the baby's going to get here before the flags. I was like, that's not the way, you know, we need the flags prepped and ready so when the babies arrive, they can be put up. And they didn't even fuss with me. They gave me money. They refunded. They gave me $5 twice because I waited 2 weeks. And then they give me the full refund. So I made $10 on top of that. And I went and repurchased what was still in stock for her. I think they had ran out of 2 of the hangers, but I got her the really pretty, it looks like it's like an iron clothes hanger with a loop. You can hang them on a nail or on an iron hook, but that holds the flags so the flags can't blow away. Those little, and it says It's a Boy, and the other says It's a Girl, and I got a bow for each, and I got something else too. I had a whole bunch of crap. I got her at Mom Life t-shirts, Best Mom earrings, but I sent her a bunch of stuff because they gave me extra money, so I just kept sending stuff to her. So, what does that say? Hello. Oh no, I don't read Arabic. I mean, it's pretty, but I don't read it. So, but yeah, I've heard they do the payment plans. I've never used it, but like I really want a stand mixer. And I've been trying to find a stand mixer at a thrift shop or a secondhand store for I can't tell you how long, because I will not make stuff I have to mix if I'm having bad hand days, because my hands don't want to hold the mixer right anymore, and it really frustrates me. So I want a stand mixer. I really want a freaking stand mixer. So I've been looking at their stand mixers, and they got a really pretty turquoise one, and I've been like, that's tempting, but I don't know. I'm not really a credit person, so I try to stay away from that. But I mean, if you were going to do a huge like Christmas haul or something for your family, that might be the way to go. I mean, good Lord. I mean, it'd be better than getting a loan with interest from the goddamn bank. I mean, basically, China owns us all anyway. Just give them your money. I'm gonna be quick. Just I'm gonna be honest there. They own us all. Just give them their money. Yeah, they gave me 2 $5 credits because I had fussed. So they give me $10 on top of the full refund. So I had 10 extra bucks. So I got to send her like an extra t-shirt and some earrings and stuff. And I sent her quite the bag. So it should be there probably, I think tomorrow. Tomorrow, the next day, should be there. So, but she's still hanging on. She's still dilated to 3, but no, her water's not breaking, and the babies are head down and just chillaxing. But she worked till like 33 weeks, and then they put her on bed rest because she had that little episode, and then she snapped right out of that, and everybody was fine, and her water didn't break. So they said just go home and chill out, and she's bored to death because Netflix was really nice. Because I told him, I said, I am going to be probably down there for like a month or so. I was like, but if something happens, I may go before. And I said, I don't know, I said, but sometimes they're up here. I said, so I don't know. I said, but if I get the family plan, I said, can I let them use it so that when I'm there, I can use it too. And they were like, oh yeah. And they were like, that's your daughter, pregnant with twins. Yeah, that's fine. And so, and like her due date is in April the 4th. So Netflix let me through April. They're like, we'll give it to the end of April. Because I told them the baby's due date's April 4th, which I don't think they're going to make it that long. But that's like the 40-week point. And Netflix was really nice. They were like, oh yeah, she can use it. Just when it says somebody's logged in, you know it's her. And I was like, thank you. And so, if I end up down there, I'll have Netflix to watch. But it's been nice because she's been bored out of her mind. Like normally she never watches TV, but since a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, she's been bored out of her mind. And so she's been watching, and they even made me a profile on it. It says Granny's Road Trip. Because Netflix, I don't know how to do all this stuff. They're nice. And so she's been watching Suits. I don't know why my daughter is watching Tom Selleck, but she's been watching Suits for like the last week and a half. So maybe she should have gone into law enforcement. I don't know. But she's a vet, so I don't know. I thought it was very nice of them. They were like, oh, yeah. Just like, that's an extenuating circumstance. And yeah, sure, you can, And I was like, thank you. So through the end of April, I get to have it both places. And they were super sweet about it. I just paid for the family plan. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, gee, thanks. Thank you. So, and she's really appreciative because she normally never watches TV because she's always at work. And if she's at home, she's outside because she's got dogs, animals, and, And so she's been bored. But I checked the other day to see what she's watching. She's been watching Suits with Tom Selleck. I mean, you look at my profile, and I probably look like I'm bipolar. I was watching Love on the Spectrum with the autistic people the other day, and it's so sweet. If you've not watched Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, you should watch it. It will make you think about how you treat people in a whole different way. It's just great. And then I watched The Witcher, of course, because The Witcher. And when they replaced The Witcher, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to watch it because that Henry Cavill, what's his name? His name's not important. He is that character for me. And I'm like, when you change characters, I'm not going to be able to watch this. I'm not going to be able to watch it. So it's ruined it for me. I'm like, why didn't you pay the man what he was worth and bring him back? So I'm going to protest. I want Henry back. Is that his name? Henry Cavill or I don't know. All I know is he's the Witcher. And so that irritated me. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. But my favorite show on Netflix is The Last Kingdom with Uhtred, son of Uhtred, because that man ain't but that big. I know he's tiny. He can't be very big at all. But he is so convincing in his roles that he plays. And I've seen him in other stuff too. And I just adore him. And I don't know. That was like perfect. Whoever picked the characters for that, they picked him perfectly. I was like, that's great. Yeah, I love Tom Selleck is like, I told her, I said, he's from my day, Magnum P.I. She goes, no, I said, honey, it's the same man. He's just really old. I said, why don't you go watch Quickly Down Under? She's like, that's a Western. I said, it's got Tom Selleck in it. And she's like, what? And I'm like, honey, he's been on the TV since I was a baby. I was like, just go watch some Magnum P.I. And, I was like, while you're at it, watch Airwolf, A-Team, what is it, MacGyver, and she was like, what? And I was like, this is what I grew up on, honey. And she's like, well, I just really like this show. And I'm like, you went into veterinary medicine and I was in law enforcement and you watch all the law shows and but when I came home, I didn't want to watch law stuff because it was like, oh God, that could really happen. Oh crap. So I never watched law stuff because I've been like, I can't watch it because we be watching something big. Oh yeah, that's going to be a warrant. Oh God, that's violations of rule 2, 4, 6, 12. Oh my God. Oh geez. And my husband would be like, would you shut up? And I'm like, I can't watch this because it was horrible. One night he woke me up and I said, what? Why'd you wake me up? He goes, you were writing a warrant in your sleep. I said, well, where was I? He goes, violation rule 8. And I went, well, why didn't you just turn on your cell phone and tape me? Now I've got to write it again when I go to work. And he just died. I love the X-Files. I love Uhtred, son of Uhtred. I love him. Like, sometimes I want to smack him because he's a dumb butt. But most of the time, I really love his portrayal of the character and how he progressed and became a better person through that. I really like Uhtred. And the little Irish speaking dude, what's his name? Crap. I don't know. He's funny. I love him. Like that. I would want a bobblehead of him to go everywhere with me because he's just freaking adorable. Citric. I've seen Citric in other shows, and I've been like, that is the ugliest man I've ever seen in my life. But then they put him in Viking apparel, and I'm like, that is the cutest man I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what happened. I question myself because I'm like, I know I don't like him in normal clothes, but you do his hair like that and put him in dadgum, he's a pretty man. But I don't know. I don't know. My first husband was literally 140 pounds soaking wet. He wore a size 28 waist Wranglers, pro rodeos. That should have been the first indication this was not going to go well. When he asked to ride my horse for the first time, I said, I don't let idiots on my horse. Probably a second indication it wasn't going to go well. We became friends. And we became actually really good friends. We got along really well. And when I moved to college, he would come up at a factory, I think it was Rockwell or something. He would come up and like bring me breakfast before I went to the barn at 5 a.m. to start my work. Because I worked at 5 a.m. to 7, then I went to classes, and then I had lunch, and then I went to classes, and then went back to the barn. So I managed a Pasadena stable and cooked for forever. That's how I paid my way through college. And so he would bring me breakfast almost every morning if he got off in time. And so he was really nice. And I thought, well, sweetheart. Oh, we were really great friends, but we were a horrid married couple. We were just not, no. Because I had, we had kids, and I turned into a mom, and he did not turn into a father, and he still wanted me to be breaking broncs and working horses. And I was like, I'm a little busy raising children, and he did not like who I was anymore. And I was like, sucks to be you. You married me. But then he liked the temp agency secretary so much in 3 days, he left me with 2 toddlers. And ladies, let me give you a life lesson. I give the men a life lesson the other day. I'm going to give ladies a life lesson today. If you grow up in the country, you know how to handle a man that'll cheat on you. Because in the country, you won't own a dog that'll run trash, let alone a man. So if you won't own a dog that'll run trash out of the embarrassment that causes, why would you have a man that'll run trash? Literally 2 years ago in this area, there was a woman that was having an extramarital affair with a man who was having an extramarital. They were together or against their partners. He called it off for some reason, but didn't care to tell the whole world about it. Might have snuck up and give him a surprise. But she went home and committed suicide. And I have never found not one man on the face of this earth that's worth extinguishing your own flame over. So if they'll trail a little skanky teaser temporary, temp secretary off, just let him go. And I told him that when he came back, I had his clothes bagged up, and I was like, you're leaving. And he was like, why? And I was like, 'cause I won't have a dog that'll run trash, and I won't have a man that will either. And he was like, what do you do to the dogs that run trash? We shoot them or let them go. I'm going to let you go. He left. Do you think he believed me? Yeah, he left. Then, like 2 years later, he never paid child support. He married that woman the first day that he could legally, 30 days after our divorce was finalized. He married her the first day he could. Then he had an affair on her. Now he's on his 3rd marriage. So he never paid child support. He petitioned Tennessee to terminate his rights. So he was a co-petitioner. Tennessee called us and said, will your current husband adopt? And David said, sure. Well, then he said, well, I don't have any money. So Tennessee said, well, if this is going to happen, somebody's going to have to pay for it. And we paid for the adoption. That was a heck of a lot of money. And so he co-petitioned. He is a co-petitioner in the adoption of the kids. So David adopted my kids when they were 2.5, 3.5, and raised them their whole lives. They call him Dad. We erased him on the paperwork per Tennessee. My ex-husband never existed. David is their father. And I think he's a little surly about that now, but sucks to be him. I mean, I don't care. He called one time, asked me for a favor. I said, I don't give a crap if your life is easy anymore. I ain't there to make it easy. I have no desire to see you have an easy life. Forget my phone number. And I hung up on him. I'm a nice person until you do me dirty. And then I'm kind of like, you're like, written off the list. That's kind of how I am. But I don't know. I just can't believe that somebody would do that to themselves over stupid flesh. Stupid flesh. And I had about a 2-day pity party. And then I realized I had brought half-ton-pound bulls to the ground in fear of me and made them pee down both legs when I halter broke them to show. Because it was a battle of wills there for the first few weeks till they learned how to lead. Why was I letting 140 pounds whip me? And I thought, I meant for more, and I moved on. I come back home to the farm and started over, and honestly was fixing to move back toward Nashville. I was fixing to move back toward Nashville and met David. I had a radiator have a hole in it, and his brother, who was married to one of my best friends, was supposed to fix it, and he got held late at work, and he said, my brother will fix your radiator. And I was like, well, gee, thanks. Just tell everybody I'm a divorced woman that can't afford a mechanic because my ex-husband won't pay child support. I was just like, because I was cleaning timeshares and going to college. You ever clean timeshares for rich people? They don't even know how to go to the Dollar General and buy Tide. They go, oh, yes, miss, can you leave 2 more boxes of those things you put in that machine? Yeah, for the clothes, yeah. We need 2 more of those little boxes. Well, you're only supposed to get 1 every 3rd day. Well, wait, we need to wash your clothes. Well, the Dollar General is about 2 miles down the road. Well, I'm going to call the office and tell them you didn't give me what I wanted. Go for it. Not left packing my vacuum. You can go buy your own daggum Tide. You got $250,000. You own a townhouse on a lake. You ain't going to die over Tide. And my boss was always like, give them a box of Tide. No, they probably have stock in Tide. They can go buy their own flipping Tide. I leave 1 box every 3rd day. That's what my contract says. That's what I'll leave. I caused a bunch of problems. But that's what I did while I finished in school. And then I got into medical transcription because I typed so fast. And did that for a while. Did nuclear med and regular. And I wasn't certified. I just knew a lot of Latin and knew a lot of the body because I pre-vet and worked in farms. And but he called and they were going to put him in jail on a child support attachment. And I said, good. Salty, yeah. And he wanted to, he would not get an attorney though, even though he co-petitioned the state, he wouldn't get an attorney. And so we had to meet 5 times and pay for 5 meetings with all representation there. That was expensive. To give him 5 chances to back out. And really part of me thought, okay, he'll come to his senses and he'll not do this. He'll figure out a way to pay the child support, or he'll figure out how to just do the time and suffer through it. No, the last time he brought the little new woman with him. Oh God, her tag on Yahoo where they started talking to each other was Cinderella Dreams. You're dreaming, honey, because he ain't no Prince Charming. You keep having them dreams. It's going to be not real soon. And she was really irritated because she wanted to have beef with me. And I was like, no, you can have them. It's like, you can have them. Good luck with that one. She was really irritated because she wanted there to be a fight over. And I was like, I'm not. A man worth fighting over will never put you in a position to do so. Remember that one. And I don't know. She just wanted there to be beef all the time. And I was like, no. She even then, after the adoption, started web pages leaving letters to my children that were not even in pre-K. And I had to get another attorney and tell her, you're in breach of an adoption contract, but you were present for and are married now to the other party. You can go to prison. These children, because it was a closed adoption, these children are protected. So she went and kind of sponged over and took out names and, but they're probably all still up. Ooh, I need to find them and let y'all go read them. It's hella interesting. Like, if you ever want to see a 30-year-old woman that acts like a 5-year-old, you just got to read all this crap. I'm going to find them. I'll share them. I'll put them in a community post. It's free. Because she was like 30 at the time. She was pushing 30 and I was 24. And I was like, somebody didn't learn anything in kindergarten, but that was beside the point. But it's like she wanted life to be a soap opera. And I'm like, no, I'm kind of busy raising kids and working, you know. But after he had another kid with her, and that's the sad thing, is there was another kid put in the mix here, and then found another person at work. I don't think she was a temp agency secretary, but found another person at work and had an affair, and now he's married to her. And it's just like, okay, one time can be a oopsie, 2 times is that you got a problem, 3 times is a pattern, and we just know he's established that he has a very bad habit. How do I know he also has a bad habit? Because when he divorced me and married that other woman, all of a sudden all her posts and stuff stopped about how proud she was to be his wife and how much she loved him. Y'all, stay around. This is the kicker. This is the best like life moment I was ever given. Because I knew when that behavior, I was like, this is not the person I married. Something's going on here. And so I was like ready to get out of there. I was like, done with this. The moment you can do that to me, no. I won't even have a cow that'll look at me in a sassy way. I ain't gonna have a man that'll look at me like that either. So I got that job as a parole officer, and I didn't think about it. What made me mad is I didn't think about it for a couple of years because I worked there for a long time. And after a couple of years, I was like, they've been awfully quiet for a long time. I wonder what he's up to. Could something have gone wrong? Well, listen, I never forget any numbers, so I just punched him in and up he popped. He had gotten a job as a corrections officer at a little jail and had gotten official misconduct charges. But because he'd never had any charges that had stuck before, they let him have a diversion if he could complete his probation. And he completed his probation. I'll just say the case notes did not make him sound very happy. But perks of the job. So I knew then what had happened. She was no longer proud to be his wife. That had happened. She knew that he was still tangoing with, she thought she was the only tango partner. I'm sorry, no. And then they moved out of the state because he had ruined his name and couldn't get a job. And here's the kicker. He married the third affair, or the second affair is now the third wife. Oh, it's so hard, the math. The second affair is now the third wife. Know that state he lives in now allowed him to adopt her children from her previous marriage. I'm pretty sure they did not do a federal background check. They only did a state, because if they did a federal, they would have saw where he voluntarily terminated his parental rights and gave rights up to allow his other child to move out of state away from him. So they only got minimal, parental time with him. No state would have given anyone like that an option to adopt had they done a federal background. But they only did a state. So now he's raising somebody else's children, none of his own. He gave away 3, but he got 2 in a toss-up. I care more about puppies I get from Walmart parking lot in a pasteboard box. But I'm just concerned because I've been like, now there's 5 children that have had this man affect their life, and it irritates me. And he lives very close to where my daughter lives now. And so I'm like, I don't want him to have any contact with those kids, but I know I'm not in control over that. But I don't know. I'd think twice about setting my baby daughter in some man's lap that had official misconduct charges in a jail. I'm just saying personally, I would think twice about it. But, it is what it is. But let me tell you what. How boring am I? I'm boring. But when you marry a turd, life can get really interesting really quick. So now the last 21 years I've been married to David has been since we got the kids adopted and got him shook off. It was like a bad dingleberry that wouldn't leave. Since we got him shook off, life's been just quiet and calm, and we raised the kids, and and then when the kids got grown, here he came again. And the kids by law could have said, no, don't want anything to do with you. And pretty much, for a long time, my son did that. And now they have minimal contact with him. But it's just, in their minds, because he was never the disciplinarian, he was never the parent, they kind of have him this creation of the perfect father that never got to be. And I'm like, you read his criminal background, that's not what it reads. But anyway, You have to let your kids make their own minds up, and they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to, they're going to trust people they shouldn't trust. And lessons, consequences rarely come lubricated. That's a very big statement, but lessons are hard, and sometimes they're hard to learn and painful. And I just, as a parent, have to sit here and go, you get to make that decision, but it's going to burn. So, because I was married to him for almost 6 years. So, yeah. So my life has been very dull because all I did was get married. David's a very quiet person. I'm a very quiet person. We both would go to work, pick up the kids, come home. We did the parental dance class, ROTC, all those duties, and just had a very quiet life. But, adoption is one of those things where it's great until they're 18. And then as soon as they turn 18, it's like all the other people descend upon them like buzzards and want to tell them, horrible, horrible stories. And I'm like, I was just sitting home raising toddlers and making dinners and cleaning the house. I did not bring any of this upon your son started this. I didn't do anything to cause this, And I even, because I wasn't mad at his parents weren't the ones that were, did anything wrong to me. I still let them see his parents. And it would even take them for weeks to stay at the farm and take groceries with me because they said they didn't have money for groceries all week for the kids. So we would take groceries and the kids because they wanted to see the kids. And we did that up until the kids were like 14, 15. And then the kids just got so busy in school stuff that we just couldn't stop and all the time run 2 hours down, 2.5 hours down the road to visit. It was just too much. And so they got saucy. We want to see them. Okay, well, the road goes both ways. But never once did they ever come up here until my son graduated from high school. And then the grandmother told my daughter that she said, I gave your mother $3,000 for your college. I never got a penny from that woman. Matter of fact, I told all the family, if you want to give money to her, don't give it to me. You can call University of Tennessee and put it on her vol account. It's much easier because then it goes directly to her little card or to her account to be paid for something. And because she got scholarships, but they did not prep us for, you have to pay for the first half to 3/4 of the semester and all the, you have to pay to go through the day tour and to learn about the school and to get all the, it was like a $300 day trip, and then you've got, a semester is like $13,000, $14,000. So we had to pay for 3/4 of a semester up front because she had an issue with her scholarships and grant monies. And I was like, and loans and stuff. And I was like, oh, because we did not anticipate that. Y'all, my daughter, who I knew would go as soon as she got started, she would finish that. I went and pulled my retirement to get her into UT at Knoxville because she got accepted. They just had an issue with the loan or grant. Something was not printed right or was double printed and they had to redo it. You were going to have to pay this far ahead and she was not going to be able to get any funds until this time. And if she was not paid, she was not going to be able to go. She'd have to wait till the next year to start. And we had already paid at that point, $3,000. And I was like, no, I didn't waste $3,000. No. So I just pulled my retirement and paid for her first semester, basically, all but just a few weeks, basically. And then she got a little bolus, after the first year, and then her stuff kicked in, so she had a little bit of money to live on. But, it's just the crap you do for your kids, But that heifer of a grandma was like, I gave your mother $3,000 for your school. No, heifer, you did not. That was my retirement to pay for UT. That was my retirement. That's why I have nothing in my 401k anymore, because it all went to the University of freaking Tennessee, who still thinks I'm going to give money to them as an alumni because my daughter's an alumni. Don't hold your breath. But that was really rude. So my daughter called me really hateful. She's like, well, where's my money? I don't know. Where's your money? You're an adult now. You have to keep up with it. Where is your money? Well, Granny said, I said, okay, well, your Granny says a lot of things. I said, let me tell you right now, your Granny's a liar. A liar. And matter of fact, we had an issue where we were a little short because they made us pay in installments. If you're going to smack me, just do it all at once. Don't do it in 4 installments. And I had a really good friend that was very wealthy and literally just wrote checks for her son to go to the University of Miami. And she was like, let us just finish that last little bit up, Elizabeth. Let's just help you. And I was like, okay. I didn't really know how to take that, but they were like, it's nothing. They're like, we spend more a week going out to eat. And I was like, okay. They called the ball state, called and put it on her ball account, called UT and put it on her ball account, like the grandma should have done. And that's how she got her first year of school paid for. And it was just like, and then finally everything came in and fell in. And I was just like, crap. Because she graduated with a 4.0, so I'm glad I did it, but Shoot you, please. Okay, hang on, wait. Okay, hang on, wait. Let me tell you that this doesn't work through this format, okay? And this is empty, by the way. Here's the clip that goes in, okay? Because when you ask me to do impossible things, I just want to show you it's purely impossible, okay? Nothing's in this. It's not loaded. It's purely impossible to do that through this media format. And you need to be very aware of what you say on this format, because it could be taken very literal by somebody who might be stupid enough to follow you. Okay. As retired law enforcement, you shouldn't say like crap on this format. You don't say stuff like that, because some moron dingleberry that lives somewhere close to you will find you with your ISP and do stupid shit like that. Okay. So there's your tip for the day. Don't be a dumbass. I think I'm just going to keep my prop handy for the next 5 years. Geez, oh, Pete. That's my coyote gun. So when they get up here in the barn lot and they start, I can pop them. I hate coyotes. They get up here and they want to go after Oscar when he goes out to potty. And I'm like, so I do sentinel duty every time Oscar goes out to potty. So, and I put a toboggan on right now, but that's the only time I'm allowed outside is when I'm letting him potty at night and I'm making sure nothing's going to pack him off. But I hate freaking coyotes. And I'm like, God, I hate coyotes. I mean, really, like, you should have more like sense than that to ask stupid questions like that. That is one of those things that then if it was to go to court, literally the defense team would be like, he asked for it to be done. Do you know the loopholes that can come with that? Even though it's a rhetorical statement, basically it's a rhetorical question on your behalf for somebody to, if they could please do that, it's like it's not something you want actually done. But do you know the loopholes that a lawyer can find out of stupid crap like that? Jeez, oh, Pete. People, be smarter. That just cracks me up. No, foxes and coyotes can't mate. There's a certain thing called a cross fox, but all it is when a red and a gray fox mate, and it comes out a funky color. You only see about 2 every 10 years because they normally have a lot of genetic issues and skin issues, and they don't. I don't know, but when you do find them and they're in good health, they're beautiful things. We actually have one from this year in the freezer when David cans it. I'll show it to you. But a cross fox is a very rare thing. But no. Coyotes and foxes can't. I mean, that would. They're all in kind of like the same species, but they're not the same genus. In one of the ways, anyway. So it's like white-tailed deer and elk. No, but now mule deer, black-tailed deer, they can mate with whitetail in rare circumstances. And then you've got your smaller deer, like your axis deer, your fallow deer, and all that stuff. But it just doesn't work that way. So good question though. I mean, good question. It's, a lot of people don't know that mules are sterile. Like if you ever see, everybody's like, why do mules cost so much money? Well, because they're sterile. I think there's only ever been like 6 since history has been kept on mules. There's only ever been like 6 mules have babies because mules are basically sterile. So you get a mule when you take a female horse and a male jack and you breed them, you get a mule. And 99.9% of the time they are sterile. That's why when a mule is trained, and mules are very hardy, sure-footed, and have less health issues than horses. And they're just a much hardier, sturdier animal, especially if you're going to do like pack horse and stuff like that. So they're well trained, and their memory is much better. And if you piss them off, they will remember that for 5 years and kick you at the opportune time that you give them, because mules. My family raised draft mules, so mules. I think like if every person was tied to a mule for 30 days of their life, they would learn how to behave because that mule will let you know if you're being an idiot because they will just pick a foot up and wait and then pop you. And you're like, excuse me, what did I do? You really have to like communicate with a mule because they are hateful creatures and they will hold a grudge. I told that to the judge one time and he was like, actually, I believe that would work. So, but mules are sterile. So it's, you got jacks and you got jennets, and jennets can have little, babies, but mules between a horse and a jack are sterile. And so that's why they cost so much money. And when they're really well trained, they retain their value. And that's why for a long, long time, my family bred draft mules because they retain their value and they're smart and they're well trained and they're sturdy, healthy workhorses. So we had Belgians, draft mules. I think we had a couple of Percherons in the Shire. All I know is before I was in school, I could walk underneath them to hitch the harness, and Grandpa would make me go underneath them to hitch the harnesses, the belly bands, because he didn't want to bend over. My grandpa was a smart man. So, inside info, there you go. Our skunks and calico cats. No, skunks and calico cats can't mate. I mean, they might do the deed, but it's just harmful to your cat, and the skunk's just getting some gratification out of it. It ain't gonna produce nothing. I mean, basically, even in animals, you've got those psychotic creatures that will take advantage of anything smaller and weaker. But there's not going to be a genetic creation from that. So, it's just, you got those evil creatures in nature, just like you do in humanity, that will take advantage of anything smaller and weaker. So, a lot of people, especially in the mating season for foxes and fishers and skunks and raccoons, it's just a good idea to keep your cats up because they get into lots of fights, if nothing else. So, learned you a bunch today. If I ever get fit to where we can go on a wood ramble and like look for herbs and certain barks and stuff like that, I've been waiting for this stupid pine tree to put tar out because I was going to make some skin stuff for Gypsy. We've not had enough of a winter. We've had cold snaps, but we've not had enough of a winter. It's not sapped at all. And so now I told David, I said, next cold snap if we get one, I said, we need to go out and see if any of the trees are still running. I said, because I wanted to try to make that. It's coconut oil, pine sap, beeswax, and something else. Some oil, some essential oil. And it's supposed to be excellent for people that have like psoriatic arthritis, that have the hands that swell and the knuckles that crack, or psoriasis, or just have really bad skin. It's supposed to be really good. Plus, you can use it as lip balm. So I thought, well, I'm going to make some of that because that's something I've never made. But I still think we're going to have another snow because normally when it gets warm, my apple mints sprout immediately, and they're still dormant. They're like not even interested in coming out. My forsythia bush is bloomed. My maples are trying to bud. My red bud is thinking about it. And I'm like, hold you roll, buddies, because it's going to be we're going to have snow on the ground one more time, I bet you anything. But my apple mints are not popping through. And they're normally the first thing to tell me spring is here, and they're not moving at all. So I'm thinking we had 2 or 3 big storms into January and into February. Normally, if you hear thunder in January and February, you get snow in March. And so I'm sitting here just waiting. It'll either be a really bad snowstorm or we'll have the most severe spring. If y'all thought last year was bad, because we had tornadoes, y'all got like a bunch of tornado video last year from me. If we don't get snow, we'll get super bad severe season. So probably get more tornado footage. Although the last year's tornado footage that's on my library down below is pretty good stuff. Because I thought my kitchen windows were about to break and we were fixing to be calling some insurance companies to rebuild. So that was a pretty doggone scary storm. So, and it took out a whole path about 3/4 mile as the crow flies from us. It just sheared a whole path and took out houses, homes, farms, and everything. We just got the outside fuzz. It was one of the largest and widest tornadoes that has ever landed on this plateau ever. And it was that close to me. So shout you out. never do what you tell me to do. Well, I mean, skunk mamas have little babies, and they don't always come out looking like skunks. Sometimes they come out completely white. Sometimes they come out completely black. Sometimes they come out mottled. A lot of times they get their stripes later in life, or their patterns will change because they're meant to be camouflaged early on. So they might look, but and little baby skunks do look like kittens anyway. But a cat and a skunk can't breed. I mean, they can do the act, but ain't nothing gonna be coming of it. And I mean, a mean skunk will take a cat up on the opportunity. I'm just saying. just saying. I think you should copyright that word. I think you should copyright that word and make it go in the dictionary. Yeah, they just they just see something that looks so familiar, and their brains are about the size of. I mean, this is giving them a lot of grace, but their brains are about the size. Well, probably about half that size actually. They're not so smart, so if they smell anything else than estrus, they're drawn to it. And if it's their size, they will take advantage, but they can't produce anything genetically from that union. So it's weird, there has to be, and it's if you read about the genus and species and animal husbandry and stuff like that, you'll start to understand more of it. I've always wanted a zonkey because zebras and donkeys, I want a jack and a zebra mare to make me I want a little zonkey. I've always wanted a little zonkey. And by golly gumdrops, I want a zonkey. And they have one at a petting zoo 2 hours down the road. And from the moment I saw it, I only wanted a zonkey more. So I want a zonkey. That happens. But, that's because they all go back to Przewalski's horse, like the old Norwegian fjord-looking horses, So that's because they have, that's their DNA goes back that way, And the other stuff are branched off from other things. So that's why chimpanzees and orangutans never have babies. They're branched on different. You just got to study genus and species and animal husbandry and all that stuff, and you'll understand. Well, I would probably say Jack Daniels in the water bowl and a lot of training, but I don't think it's probably anything you want to do. Did you think that was going to come out of my mouth? Probably not. No. Nope. I think probably what you'll end up with is a dead cat and a very irritated dog. But, that's just my redneck perspective there, Maybe one day I'll do a presentation on all of this so y'all will understand. But I just grown up on a farm, and I was pre-vet for a long time. Now my daughter she's out of vet school, so it's just kind of like, I retain more knowledge, I guess, than most people. But I've had, between law enforcement and farm jobs, and then going with my mother to lecture classes when she was in college, I just learned a lot. So, just learned a lot. Oh, you're wanting one of them Kentucky Wampus cats, huh? Hey, did they ever find whatever was killing all them farm animals up in lower Kentucky? Because they were saying it was some people were saying it's Dog Man or something like that. And I was like, okay. I mean, I fully think there are strange things in these hills and hollers because, I live spitting distance from Kentucky. But I just remember that was a big deal. 5 farms were attacked in just a number of weeks. And the kills were not patterned to anything that was normal. And I saw a large cow that was skinned, but nothing had ripped the edges of the skin like it had pulled it back with canines or teeth or anything. And it was moved, and chunks of meat were cut off this cow. And so me and my husband were like, what? And my husband traps. He's a trapper and tanner. And we told the farm that the next thing that they, tossed out there, let us know. So they had a big wild boar come through trying to kill a calf and take down a fence row, them stupid hogs. I hate them hogs. And so they popped it and they drug it out there. We've got 3 cameras on that sucker waiting to see if something comes back to get it, because that was not normal. That was not normal. And we've heard wood knocks out there. David's heard them. And I don't get any bad vibes when I'm on the property. It's a beautiful old farm. It's just got it's got so many nest predators. There are no birds. And so it's like eerily quiet. It's just a weird land. But I just thought that was weird. So we're still waiting. Nothing has touched the hog. And I think it's because it's got 3 cameras on it. Nothing has touched. A buzzard landed on it the other day, but nothing has touched the hog. But I want to know what moved that cow and surgically cut out pieces of it. No, not surgically. It wasn't as clean as surgery, but it cut pieces of meat out and like quartered it up so it didn't have to pack the whole thing. What does that? It's got to have thumbs, and it wasn't no body that we know. Basically, neighbors. Yeah, I'm on the Cumberland Plateau, so you're probably real close to me. Yeah. So that's happening down here too. So that's why I'm like, did they ever figure out what that was? Because I'm not going out to check the traps without a 7mm on my back. I wear a 9 on my hip, and then I normally have at least one long rifle strapped to me somewhere, because it ain't going to run up on me. If I see it running up, I'm going to drop it before it gets to me. I don't know what it is though, but it's, hey, I've lived in these, and I've coon hunted nighttime, sat on bluffs waiting for my dad to come from 2 haulers over because he knew my legs was too little to make it to the dogs and make it back, and never been scared. But I stood and was like, that cow ain't right. That ain't right. That looks like something half man, half animal. And like the hide was, you know how when you tube skin a deer, you get it started and then you can just pull it down and it just slicks right on off. Sorry, TMI for y'all that don't hunt and do this. That it looked like it had made a cut and just pulled it back. But the end of, I looked at the hide, end of the hide had no teeth holes, no ragged edges, nothing. It had just pulled it back. And I thought, no, that ain't right. And I looked at my husband, I was like, we should have brought a bigger gun. So, but yeah, it's kind of weird to see stuff like that, especially when you've grown up and seen about how everything can, maul anything that, a farmer drags off, and they got moved. So we thought originally maybe it was just a big black bear, that, because when we drove up on it, you could tell that the carcass had been moved. And we thought, well, maybe it's just a giant black bear, because we have some that hide around here in the Big South Fork. We got up on it and I looked at David. I said, I think it's time to go check the other traps and leave. And he was like, okay. I said, because if we stay here, we're either going to get abducted or probed, and I don't want to find out which one. He just laughed. Oh, God. You got lost in Daniel Boone. Oh, my God. Is that, they don't have the worst labeled roads. Like, you're driving and you think you're following the same loop, but then there'll be a branch and they won't have it marked. And you're like, well, which way do I go? Well, you ain't got GPS or crap out there. And everything, it's not really what I would say a mature forest, but it's like in between a young to mature forest. So there are too many saplings and still low ground cover to see through, because a mature forest, there's very little ground cover unless it's like mountain laurel or something like that, and you can kind of see through and pick your path and see the lay of the land. You can't there because it's still young enough forest. You got crap on the ground, and people go there all the time. As a matter of fact, we were at an event at True West Campgrounds. You probably know where that is if you've gone through like Leatherwood Ford and cross the bridge and cross the river and come on up from Oneida up that way, up that windy hill where that trucker went over the edge several years ago. That's still down there. They never got him out. There's no way to get him out. Hey, Million Mile, how you doing? The spring weather's, I've got mastoiditis again on my right mastoid, so I'm having a hard time. But I'm feeling better today. I don't have a fever today, and I'm on here yakking. But I found a guy from Kentucky that's close to my neck of the woods. But yeah, we've done the Daniel Boone Loop and gone through there, and I mean, it's pretty, but you ever been to Pickett State Park? They drained the whole swimming bay and canoe area, drained it. I wish I'd been there to see what people had dropped and left and put in there at the swimming area, because that thing hadn't been drained in probably 70 years. They redone a bunch of stuff, and I guess they refilled it. They're going to introduce new species and new trout and stuff now. But I went there to see it drained after they had cleaned it and they opened it back up. And you could go over the Swinger Bridge, which has been replaced as well. It was just so weird to see that completely drained and to see how deep some of the spots were and how shallow most of it was. But I don't know. They've done a bunch of work on Pickett State Park. So, but bears have become a problem in Pickett State Park. So everything's bear proof now, which means if you're going to throw something away after you have a picnic, you need 2 hands and a helper, because I can't get into them either. No, I don't. I've seen too many of them in my lifetime to care. The last one I had, I was at work the day it came through. I was a counselor, and I had to black out my window because I had youth that had addiction and trauma backgrounds. I had to black out all the windows in my office so that the kids, because you tell a kid don't look, what are they first going to do? They're going to look. So I had to black out all my windows. And I don't know. I never have cared for eclipses. And that one went right smack over us. It got dark. It looked like it was 8 o'clock on a summer evening. And I don't know. I never have cared for them. Just never have. Never have. You know, if somebody wanted to see it from a really weird vantage point, that the Honey Creek Overlook would be a really weird place to go through a solar eclipse at. If you've heard of that, down by Burnt Mill, used to be Burnt Mill Bridge, but we did the bridge, so it don't look like it used to. But Honey Creek Overlook would be a really nifty place to see a solar eclipse from. That would be because you got 2 big gorges in the river. That would be a really good view. You going to Paducah to see it? You know, the last one went right smack over us, so you're probably spitting distance from me. And I was just not. I was busy. I was working, but I also had to make sure none of the kids were going to look out the windows. So I never have cared much for them. I have been out trail riding on a solar eclipse day. That was when I was tiny. And I had a ball cap, and I just tipped my ball cap down. Dad said, "Don't look up." I was busy getting blackberries off a blackberry bush. I was on my pony. And then he said, "Give it about 2 minutes." And I wasn't scared. I just, I thought a storm was brewing or something. I was tiny. I was little. I don't even know if I was in school. Well, that's years ago. And by the time I got my blackberries ate, I was ready to go again. It was daylight again. And I thought, well, that was weird. Tipped my ball hat back up and we went going. But no. But if I had to watch one, I'd probably go to like Honey Creek Overlook and see it, because that's you're right smack in the bunch of nature, and just see if the birds change and what, that would be neat. I was in the middle of a field at the edge of a little briary patch when that one happened, picking blackberries off my little pony and waiting, because Dad was next to me and I was waiting to be told we could go on. So I was eating all the blackberries I could eat off the bush before the sun came back. I didn't care. I'm weird. But now that one a few years back, like 5-6 years back, that was a doozy. It came right smack over us. Was it that far back? What, 2018? 17, 18? It was around that time. And that was right smack over us. That was the darkest I'd ever seen it get here in an eclipse. So yeah, so I knew it was right around that time, because that was when I was counseling over there. Yeah. So are you going to the lake? You're going to enjoy a lake day? I can't wait to be able to get out of this house and enjoy days, but until my ear heals so it won't abscess in the mastoid, I can't be out in the weather, the wind, nothing. I'm so frustrated. It's irritating as crap. Because we've had some beautiful days, but because that wind's still a little sharp, I'm not allowed out in them, because I'm this close to being like over the hump of this mastoiditis. And if it reverses, and with all this antibiotic in me, it will absolutely abscess. And then I'll have to have that surgery where they go in and scrape that bone. And I don't even want to know. So I'm staying in my house. Hey, have you noticed how much the New Madrid fault line has been acting up here in the last several months? A few days ago, there were some like 3 pretty decent sized ones spanning from Arkansas and up. That sucker's moving a little bit. You got to wonder if it's going to squeak on up or if it's just going to break loose one day. Thank you for soaking up the sunset for me. I appreciate it. Take pictures and send to me. I know as soon as I get the green light from the doctor and I can get back out, I'm going to be mobile and come visit. Patience is a virtue. I do well in it in some ways, and in some ways I don't. Yeah, I've been watching. I've got a weather app that also monitors earthquakes across the world. And of course, I watch Dutch Sense, but Dutch Sense has been done dirty by a lot of people. Y'all know, you know, him and Monkey Works. Is it Monkey Works? Yeah. Those two have gotten done dirty a lot because they told the truth. And but I've been watching, and there's literally in like the last 4 months been like 17 small quakes. One of the biggest one was like a 3 or 4, but didn't do any damage, but it definitely kind of startled people. And I'm sitting here going, y'all, it's been a few hundred years. How long do you think that fault line's going to stay still, especially with all that water movement, the pressure, you know, and now that they're spraying aluminum in that, and that's not a lie. Don't you dare fact check me, YouTube. It's called chaffing. And they spray aluminum in the air so that enemy radar can't pick up on certain sites. And but they spray other stuff there too, and y'all can look that up if you want to. But it's called chaffing, and they've been chaffing heavy in Texas and above because military bases. And I wonder if maybe it's because now the rain that falls has got aluminum in it. That's a heavier metal. It does weird things to the soil. It can actually be very toxic to us too, but they won't tell you that. So they've been chaffing really hard for the last few years in Texas, and I'm beginning to wonder if that and above, like, you know, the Texarkana area and below, I'm beginning to wonder if that's not what is causing some of these problems. Because that aluminum, you know, the soil can only hold so much before it becomes toxic. And then if it changes the weight or, you know, the loam material of it, if it changes it from a solid, you know, clay-like dirt to a loamy dirt, well, then it's going to augment and keep augmenting down into the ground. And how far does it have to go before it creates a momentum for those plates to shift? You know, I think about these things. I read a lot, you know, so. Yeah, it's bad for everything. I mean, the only reason they're doing it is so we, you know, they're saying so we won't get attacked. But honestly, it's like, do you want to die from an attack or do you want to die from an aluminum poisoning? Honestly, I'll probably pick the quicker way, but I don't know if most people would. But yeah, they've been chaffing hot and heavy there in California, and look what's happening in California. I say side-eyed. So I don't know, just makes me wonder. And they've been having weird quakes around Oak Ridge and Chattanooga. That's never been a thing, but it's been since they've been chaffing hot and heavy for the last few years. I live way too close to Oak Ridge to want anything to go boom. Let me just tell you. So you look at where they're spraying the chaff. Look at Google fingers chaffing. Google fingers aluminum toxicity. Google fingers soil conservation and aluminum toxicity. You know, and look at where they're chaffing. And meteorologists will tell you half the time where they're chaffing because it shows up on the radar. And a lot of people think it's rain, but it's actually chaff. And you can get the information if you want it. And I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, there's been a lot of anomalies where they've been heavily chaffing. Is there something, you know, causally related, or is it just coincidence? I don't know. I wonder about those things. I read a lot though. I'm a nerd. Oh yeah, I know. We had a bad spring last year, and then Reed Trimmer and Ryan Hall and Nate Snyder and a few others, they're already gearing up saying the next 2 weeks around through here are going to be heck. And I'm like, well, we've not had a real winter in a long time. We got a few good snows a few years ago because you saw them through my window, but we've not had a true winter. Normally we have an ice storm. We have no electricity for 5 to 7 days. We live on the wood stove and cook on the wood stove, and we use our hurricane lamps. And we read a lot of books and play a lot of checkers and, stuff like that. And we charge everything in the vehicles, our phones and stuff. And we've not had one of those winters in a while. And I truly expected one this year. Like, I thought it was going to be a bad winter because of the way my legs hurt. But my legs are still hurting that way, and winter should, kind of be on the way out. And I'm wondering if it's just, I don't know, I think the whole environment's just foobard. And so anybody that's sensitive to the environment probably feels as bad as I do most of the time. But I'm very sensitive to barometric pressure because of this disorder I have. And I've hurt all winter. That there's been like no winter. There's been cold snaps. Like, we had 2 cold snaps in a week that's what caused my mastoiditis to flare up. But we've not had a real winter. Stratospheric aerosol. Yes. Yes. Well, and if you all watched, you need to go back, Million Mile and Ray Clay, if you didn't watch my thing with Sabrina Wallace. You need to go back and watch that, because she can tell you a lot about what's going on as well. You got 10 feet of snow out there, man. We normally see at least one good snow where we get like 4 to, let me see what this idiots saying here. Oh, you just handled that. Okay, somebody else got it. Yeah, go back and watch that, because she was a data person. She basically took the internet. She's brilliant. She's like, she'll speak for 5 minutes and it takes me 3 days to research it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, she told me the truth. But if you can go to her channel on Odyssey platform, it's called Synergy, P-S-I-N-E-R-G-Y, Synergy. Or you can go back and watch the little thing, because we did it here, because a lot of times people have a hard time digesting what she's saying because she's so analytical when she speaks. And so I was the person that brought it down to like farm analogies and simplistic perspectives so that we could reach twice as many people. And everybody's like, why do you got that stupid woman beside you? Because the stupid woman's trying to talk to the other 99% of the stupid people in the world. Hello. Instead of reaching 1%, we want to reach 100%. But she brought the internet from basically dial up to broadband, international, and then found out what they were doing with the signals and the frequencies and the energies, and kind of questioned it and basically had her life ruined because she wouldn't just shut up and submit and do what they told her to do. She had ethical issues, and she's brilliant, but they immediately disabled her for life and stuck her in a state and said, shut up. Thank God she won't shut up, because she explains so much. And if you look up body area network, that will explain a lot, or the internet of bodies, or you just look up frequencies and how frequencies affect the human body. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a whole lot. Oh, wait, I was going to show that. Hang on. Let me show this. Oh, stop testing. Leave this stupid up there for me for a minute, Gypsy. Look at this. This guy, okay, Stephen Chow. Chow, Stephen. Said, repent, you satanic card reader. I rebuke you, Satan. Well, you said I rebuke you, Satan. It's I rebuke you, Satan, okay? You got to spell it right, or it doesn't mean what, okay? Grammar. Even in God's time and back in Jesus, it was important, okay? So you gotta say that correctly, okay? But I don't know where you got that, but that's funnier than crap. I'm a satanic card reader. Do I have cards? The only card I have is my granny's memorial card where she passed away last June. I keep Granny here with me all the time. No, I'm a Southern Baptist preacher's daughter. And I grew up in the hills of Tennessee. And I think you're calling yourself out. So what's your name, Stephen Chow? Tell me your name. Who do you serve, you little butted butthead? So, isn't it amazing when you start talking about important topics that people come in and try to dog you? Isn't it amazing that when you ask your government questions, the government obliterates your area you live in? Isn't it amazing that when you say you have faith in God, someone comes on and tries to introduce Satan into your live stream? I got your number, bud. What's your name? Tell everybody your name in this stream. Go ahead. What's your name? I command you, in the name of God, tell everyone here what your name is. Yeah, I did think so. Listen, I got no time for crap like that. I'm very grateful for Sabrina as well, because she was able to look at the data and understand it in wavelength form and understand how it was being manipulated. And so she really began, yeah, Ray Clay, really. You know exactly what I was doing there, don't you, Ray Clay? She began telling people, this is what's going on, you need to be aware. And they didn't like that. So, but she's brilliant. Literally, she speaks for 5 minutes and I have to research for 3 days. Never have I caught her on anything that's wrong. Like, she's legit always on it. She researches everything that she speaks of. And I've watched her sit here since she stayed with me for 10 days. I've watched her do 7 and 8 hours of constant research. Just poring over mathematical equations, theorems, frequency information. It blows my mind. She's amazing. I was starting to get sick the last week she was here because of this mastoiditis, because of those 2 cold fronts. And so we didn't have as much fun the second week she was here as the first. But, I mean, just to be able to have her in the house and to watch her. And every morning, literally at the break of dawn, she was praying in Latin in my kitchen. And every night she closed with a prayer. And I said, now I don't know how to live in my house without hearing Latin prayer in my kitchen every morning. I don't know how to live in my house without hearing that. I'm going to have to learn how to read more Latin. I know a little bit, not a lot. And, but she was just, it was really, normally she would come and she would stay for a couple of days, or she would stay at a kind of a close motel, a nice motel, but a close motel. And finally talked her to staying with me. We've gotten so close, she stayed with me, and it was nice. Except for the one day that we had a faucet in the bathroom. One of the water lines busted. I mean, it didn't bother me at all because it was going to happen if somebody was here or not, And so we just took off that panel of sheetrock, and David turned the water off. She didn't know how to turn the water off, and that was the day I'd gone to give blood to my doctor. And I came home, and she was just like, I tried to stop it. And I was like, honey, don't worry about it. I was like, Dave got home in just a few minutes, turned the water off. I was like, I was fixing to take the carpet up and put down wood floor. We were fixing to remodel the bathroom anyway. You just moved up my remodel schedule. I'm good with it. Don't worry about it, And we cut out the carpet that had got wet. And I said, I'm going to cut the rest of it out in the spring. And, as soon as we fix this, I'm putting the wood floor down, so it doesn't matter. But she was like, I'll never bathe again. Because she had turned on the faucet and it had popped in the wall. And so there was just water in the wall. And it freaked her out, and it was coming out from under the wall. I was like, honey, it's okay. I was like, that was going to happen whether you were here or not. But she had freaked her out, bless her heart. And but we had to get a laugh at it after that. But we have to redo the bathroom because I need a handicap shower now. I'm there, people. It's frustrating. So we were going to do that this fall, but it looks like we're going to do it this summer. So it was nice to have her here for that long. And we actually have a pretty good rhythm together as far as when we rest and like when she gets quiet to do her studying, that was when I would go down and rest, because I have to have so many hours off my feet a day. And we had a pretty good rhythm together. David's second shift job completely jumbled it, but she and I work really well together. We kind of have the same vibe during the day and the evening. So that was nice. So, and then I didn't feel good the first days, first few days after she's gone, I didn't feel good. And David said I was pouting because Sabrina left me. And part of me probably was, but also my mastoid was getting fluid filled and I was having bad headaches. And we just had those 2 cold snaps in a row. And was too much. So I've had 6 or 8 shots so far this week from between the ER and the doctor and my home health nurses, and I still have, what is today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday. I still have 3 more shots to go, and I'm running out of acreage that's not hurting. So the next 3 shots are. This one today hurts quite a bit because I did when she give me the shot, because I normally say, and I normally don't say anything when they give me a shot, but she gave me a shot, and this one's already had like 3 shots in this hip, and I was like, ow. I said something like that, and she immediately broke into the Shakira song because it sounded like the doing on, you know. And she goes, whenever, wherever. And so we were both sitting there after, and she was trying to rub the injection shot and put a Band-Aid on. We were both singing the Shakira song. First day we'd ever met. That's just how I roll with these nurses that pop into my house. It was a flipping. I wished I had CCTV in my house. Y'all would have loved that. I would have blurred out my honey in, but it was like, hi, nice to meet you. Her name was Molly. I was like, here's my butt. You may give me a shot. And then I went, ow. And she went, whenever, wherever. And we both did this Shakira. You know, it was hilarious. And she was like, I'm so glad to get to come back tomorrow. And I was like, okay, we'll do the other hip tomorrow because we've been rotating every day. But after 3 or 4 in each hip, it hurts. So who knows what we'll sing tomorrow? Maybe hips don't lie because mine are hurting and they ain't lying. So, but I've got 3 more to go, and then I have to have another CT to make sure the fluid has drained out, which I've had a lot of head pain the last 2 days, been a lot of drainage with it. So I'm expecting that's what it was the drainage, but I've got to have another CT. And then Monday I get another checkup and they draw another 7 vials of blood. They're trying to kill me. And we'll see how I am. But I think I've about got it whipped because I'm feeling good enough to feel sarcastic and smucky and sing Shakira when somebody's got a giant needle in my hind end. So obviously I'm doing better than I was when I was barely able to get out of the bed, because the last 3 days Sabrina was here, I was basically bedbound. She cooked and did my dishes. I felt horrible that the most giant brain I've ever met was cooking in my. Well, she could cook really good. I actually didn't mind the cooking. But she was doing my dishes. I felt so bad because that was my company. But she just took over. And she was even like chasing Oscar out of the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen, Oscar. You're not supposed to be in here. And I was like, oh, she's at home here. She's yelling at the dogs. So it was nice. So I've had fun too. It's been nice to catch up, show you what I got. I do have a sponsored Temu haul coming in. It is weird stuff. I don't think it's weird. Y'all probably will, but I'm going to show you what I use the weird things for. And then, I don't know. I'm hoping that, I don't know what the next couple medical days, I don't know when they're going to call me in for the CT, and I don't kind of know what's going on. But if I get a Temu bag, I'll open it with you. And if you don't see me, don't freak out. I'm feeling better, but I've just got a lot of, they've got to double check everything and make sure that there's no more fusion in this mastoid. And I'm not going to lie, these antibiotics are really hard on me. I mean, they help, but they don't do any good things for my body. So, appreciations, Ray Clay. I'm glad you got what I was doing there. You stick with this channel, buddy. We're on the same zombie apocalypse team. Everybody else, appreciate your time. I hope you had fun. I always leave little nuggets and talk to you, just like talking to a friend, because you learn a lot from people that are not like you. And so when I watch channels, I watch people that are not like me. And I would suggest you all start looking at people that aren't like you to see how everyone is all feeling the same vibes right now on this earth. It's very interesting. And I also would recommend y'all go to Joshua Sharrock's channel and give him a like and a sub if you like quick speed rounds about news stories that just either funny or catch his spot that day. But he's really quick, really sharp-witted, sarcasm. I adore him. He's just really good at what he does. Go give him a like. It's Joshua Sharrock, Sharrock. Today's was hilarious because he used the water boy. He used a clip of the water boy, and I about choked on a coconut popsicle. So go support Joshua Sharrock. And I'll be back with my next Temu haul. But I'm going to go take a nap now because my Rocephin is starting to wane me down. It jazzes me up when they give me a shot, probably adrenaline. And then I get really after them. So thank you so much. Alberto, honey, are you an idiot? We'll just end on that note. Okay, bye to my subs. I love you. To all the trolls. No, go somewhere else. Bye, guys.